Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome once again to Dubai, where you join us for further coverage from the 23rd edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. It is just gone 5 p.m. local time. The sun just beginning to set surrounding the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Center, this magnificent outdoor venue that has been staging this edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. It is the 7th day of competition, and we are at the quarter-final stage. Here is the lineup of 14 bouts that are scheduled to occur in Ring B, and by making it through to the quarter-finals, all 28 of the boxers have enriched themselves by at least $10,000 US. So all of these men now one win away from a place in the Final Four and the medal podium. All of the prizes on offer, part of a record-setting $8.23 million prize pool, $10,000 for quarter-finalists, $75,000 for bronze medalists, $150,000 for silver medalists, and the gold medalists and champions will receive $300,000 US, 50% for the boxer, 25% for the coach, and 25% for the federation. So not only world championship glory up for grabs, but life-changing amounts of money as well for both the individual boxers and the federations as they seek to continue to be able to harness and develop the pipeline of talent across the 108 countries that have attended here to this 23rd edition of the Biennial Championships. So we're going to get things underway in the 48 kilogram minimum weight division. The smallest boxers on display here at the World Championships, but of course the skill level through the roof with the smaller men. And our first contest is between boxers from Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan.
Elite men's under 48 kilogram minimum weight division. Introducing first your referee from Zimbabwe, Stephen Masayam Bumbi. Please welcome into the red corner representing Uzbekistan, Shodiyorjon Melikuziev. And his opponent in the blue corner representing Azerbaijan, Subhan Mamedov. Your judges from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So Mr.
Cuba,
Stephen Masayam
Spain,
Bumbi
Iraq,
of Zimbabwe
and
is the third man in the ring as our referee. Remember, we have 5 scoring judges seated all around the boxing ring using the 10-point must system. All of their scores will be considered, and the judges hail from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Cuba, Spain, Iraq, and Serbia. So into the ring, over in the red corner, Shodiyorjon Melikuziev, the tournament number 3 seed, had a bye in the round of 32, and here in the round of 16 he beat Anvajan Kodjiev on a unanimous decision verdict. His opponent over in the other corner, just 19 years of age, and that is Subhan Mamedov of Azerbaijan. He too a unanimous point decision victor in the round of 16, beating Meron Shafiev of Israel with a 5-0 clean sweep, where he demonstrated good movement in the course of his win to progress him here through to the quarter-final stage.
Round 1.
So we're underway then, 48 kilogram minimum weight action at the quarter-final stage of the championships between boxers from Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan. The southpaw, wearing red, who has just scored with an arcing right hand over the top and then a beautiful right hook out of the port-sided stance, is Shodiyorjon Melikuziev. Tournament number 3 seed. 27 boxers began the bracket here. He's the reigning Asian champion at middleweight, having prevailed to take top spot on the podium in the event in Chiang Mai, in the event in Thailand. His opponent is Subhan Mamedov, just 19 years of age, and he comes to the ring as a continental champion as well, having claimed European under-23 gold earlier this year in Budapest. fully committed. He's the more compact boxer to his forward attacks. Melikuziev looking to make life uncomfortable for the team sensation from Azerbaijan. Spinning off the line with the left hand. The check hook attempted by Mamedov, and now he's seeking to establish his range. Leaping right hook attempted, and you can see the tactics that are going to have to be implemented here. Melikuziev is going to have to close that gap in a bid to get himself into contention. But he possesses terrifically quick feet, but he's leaping in with these right hooks. When they land, they look spectacular. But in the event that he's made to miss and countered, well, there'll be no resistance. His feet will be off the ground, and he'll be running in to a shot where the impact will be doubled up because of his forward momentum. Leaping lead right hook attempted again. Left hand over the top is a scoring shot from Melikuziev. And surely this is where Melikuziev wants to get his hands free and get busy on the inside in the event that he finds himself wrapped up in a clinch. He perhaps more ideally suited in terms of stature to that type of up-close and personal work, but sharp shooting on the perimeter using his attributes, and with that spearing right cross. Here's Mamedov, wonderful use of the backhand against the on-rushing southpaw. In search of his get-back goes Melikuziev. Leaping right hook, that time did land, but spinning off the line to take something off the shot was Mamedov, and then he turned the tables on his man to pin him against the ropes and work away with straight punches. Everything coming on a steep downward trajectory because of the disparity in height that exists between the two. Hard to imagine that they're both occupying the same weight class. Terrific left hand over the top, but Mamedov looking to counter immediately. Well, the ring A bell sounding just a fraction before the bell here for ring B. There was a momentary pause by the boxers. Good round of boxing where this man was keen to get on the front foot, but was countered effectively by the straight shot of the taller figure wearing blue. Very good round of boxing. And the man in blue's counters such as that, catching him as he advances to increase the impact of the shot. Really good establishment of distance produced by Mamedov in that opening round. And he's taken it on a 4-1 split. Judge number 1 preferring the work of Melikuziev.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And the reigning Asian champion, Shodiyorjon, Melikuziev has got to get up close, and he's doing exactly that, pinning his man totally square on the ropes and letting scything hooks go from both flanks. But the table's turned once again, bombing overhand left to try and get himself out of the corner from Melikuziev. But the straight right hand down the pipe is landing more quickly, and he's picking these pot shots very effectively. Here's Mamedov. He's taken the first round on a 4-1 split, looking to crowd him, and credit to Melikuziev because he is trying to get busy on the inside rather than accepting the clinch. He's got his man pinned on the ropes once again, and he's seeking to go to work to both body and head. Now that's a stern talking to from the referee. Beautiful left-right combination, straight in between the gloves. And he's persisting with these leaping hooks from out of range to try and get him within range. Is Melikuziev. It's a really risky approach, almost an all-or-nothing approach, but there he did get through with the southpaw right hook. But maintaining the gap effectively, turning in a good bolo shot underneath, is Mamedov. So can he come with more than a single phase of attack? Can he prevent himself from getting tied up? These aren't quite jab and grab tactics from Mamedov, but he's boxing very smartly. And when his motives breached, as it were, the surrounding defenses, that is the space, he inconveniences Melikuziev by wrapping him up and then getting back to space. And look at the price that Melikuziev is having to pay here. Every time he tries to get in close, he's being run onto straight punches. But credit to him, he's got himself on the inside and did seek to dig away downstairs in a bid to slow down the man in blue. He's been pushed back out to the perimeter once again. He's fed a stiff two-shot combination. Overhand left was short of the mark. The right hook which followed was right on the money. And now Mamedov showing machismo and inviting pressure while he's on the ropes. Is that a sign that his energy level is perhaps dipping? But he's trying to style it out because he's moved with efficiency and economy. But look at this. Melikuziev getting up close on a more frequent basis now, and it's a blatant hold in front of the referee from Melikuziev, despite the fact he's trying to show the ref that it's not him doing the holding. So Melikuziev getting closer. Good punch picking of the straight variety once again from Mamedov. He invited and absorbed an awful lot of pressure through a certain passage of the round, but now he's getting back to the long-range boxing, which has served him so well. Closing seconds of what has been a back-and-forth second round. Right hand was a cracking shot once again for Mamedov, and he seems to have rediscovered his range after being put under pressure up close in the middle passage of that second round. So a round that could be characterized as being split into 3/3. This man started the round very well, establishing his straight punches once again, but then Melikuziev was able to crowd him and get up close with shots such as that right hook. And he goaded his man, telling him to come on, bring it to me. He was accommodated in that regard, but then towards the end of the round, Mamedov rediscovered his range and got back to long distance and started to score effectively with straight punches once again. Intriguing round of boxing. I think it's been a terrific response from Melikuziev. Has it been enough after he was edged in the he was beaten in the first round 4-1? It's a much improved performance. How do the judges see it?
Seconds out.
And he's been edged on a 3-2 split. So he just needed to convince one more going into it. Because with
your third and final round,
6 minutes of boxing completed, the distribution of scores means that there is a possibility, because there's one score tied at 19 points apiece, three scores in favor of the man in blue, and only one in favor of the man in red. So it was crucial that he got the 3-2 split. Instead, it went against him 2-3. And so now he needs a massive final round to try and bring about parity on the scorecards. But remember, if it is 3-2, it will be subject to bout review. And then the scores of the observer and the evaluator will be considered. So he's still got to continue to believe here now. Wonderful left-right again from Mamedov. Now he's square on the ropes once more, but Melikuziev couldn't get his punches away. Headlock employed by Mamedov, just to inconvenience the more compact figure wearing red. Stealing a glance to his corner just to try and receive some extra instruction and perhaps inspiration. Looking to time him off the ropes with that spearing right cross is Mamedov. He didn't quite find the range. So keeping the movement going now, up on his toes, because he has the advantage, does Mamedov. Scored effectively with a left jab through the middle and long right bolo shot underneath. Running after his man now and landing with a short range left, followed by a leaping right, which straight into rabbit punch territory. Here's Melikuziev. And again, he's doing such a good job of maintaining the gap. Remember, the man in blue is only 19 years of age, but he's showing wonderful composure in the face of this on-rushing, aggressive Asian champion. And again, looking to burrow away to the body. Here's Melikuziev, and he really has picked up the pace. He simply will not give Mamedov any respite, but Mamedov, each man just stealing a glance to the referee. He's giving them a chance to work it out on the inside. Thinking his way back in, then taking his feet with him. Here's Melikuziev desperately trying to prise open the guard to make room for his punches. But Mamedov is doing a good job here against a rugged individual, showing that he's not going to be out-muscled when they come together on the inside. And he's looking to continue to maintain that gap, but a leaping right hook from Melikuziev wasn't too far away. Melikuziev has given absolutely everything, catches his man with a right hook with the two of them in the neutral corner. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And that flex in the direction of his opponent before that warm embrace of respect. I think the boxers know it's going to be Subhan Mamedov's night here, and he will be going through to the medal stages at just 19 years of age. What a contest. Well, this man gave absolutely everything. You have to credit Melikuziev, because when he was trailing going into the final round, he really did pick up the pace, but he was met with somebody who could match it and maintain the gap with his effective straight punching. Here's the verdict. I think the man in blue is through to the final four.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by split decision. In the blue corner, representing Azerbaijan, Subhan Mamedov.
Well, elite sport in general, and boxing in particular, can bring about these contrasting emotions. One man absolutely elated, the other crestfallen, and it is Subhan Mamedov, the 19-year-old from Azerbaijan, who has prevailed on a 4-1 split to go through to the final four. Very good display indeed, effectively dealing with the aggression, carrying out his coach's tactics to a T, and we'll see him again in the semi-final stage. He's now one win away from a place in the gold medal bout, and there was the moment of confirmation. Our next contest is between boxers from Armenia and Georgia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now move to our 340th
Third man in the
contest
ring
in the elite
is
men's
Mr. Valery
and the 48
Pastuhov
kilogram minimum weight
of Moldova.
division. Introducing firstly the referee from Moldova, Valery Pastuhov. Please welcome into the red corner representing
Our 5 scoring
Armenia,
judges. They're from Algeria,
Baregham,
Russia, Turkmenistan, Cuba, and
Harutyunyan.
Iraq.
And his opponent in the blue corner representing Georgia, Sakhil Alakhverdovi. Your judges are from Algeria, Russia, Turkmenistan, Cuba, and Iraq.
So there is Baregham Harutyunyan from Armenia in the round of 16. Was a split decision victor over Tirapat Itan of Thailand, taking it on a 4-1 verdict here in ring B. Over in the blue corner is Georgia's Sakhil Alakhverdovi, the tournament number 2 seed. He with a hard-fought win as we take a look at the veteran figure of Baregham Harutyunyan. 10-year difference between the two men.
Round one.
So we're underway then. 48 kilogram minimum weight action. We are at the quarter-final stage in this contest between boxers from Armenia and Georgia. The taller figure, wearing red, is Baregham Harutyunyan, part of a 13-strong Armenian boxing team. As the man in blue, Sakhil Alakhverdovi, just spoken to in no uncertain terms by referee Mr. Valery Pastuhov about his responsibility to keep his head up, concede the disparity in height that exists between the two. Sakhil Alakhverdovi prevailing in a bout that went to bout review, winning 5-2, and he just helped himself to a good right hand against his taller opponent, looking for a return to the medal rostrum after boxing his way to a brilliant silver at 48 kilograms in the event in Tashkent, Uzbekistan 2 years ago. Competed in global competition earlier this year at the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool. As for Harutyunyan, quarter-finalist in the European Championships last year, he too competed 2 years ago in Tashkent. He too a split decision winner in his round of 16 affair. So Alakhverdovi just breaking the deadlock, looking to use his quickness to land that right hand. Alakhverdovi just seeking to box his way out of a corner here. Inaccurate with the attempted 1-2. There were shots of the rather flailing variety from Harutyunyan. And again, Harutyunyan not taking his feet with him when he's launching these attacks, and he's rather bowling the punches from the shoulder, windmilling, rather than pushing them out like pistons. Oh, that's a cracking 1-2 from Alakhverdovi. Wonderfully picked punches right in between the high-held hands of the man in red. So Harutyunyan is yet to find his range with any consistency. You can see that he's got the longer reach, but he's not really shooting out his punches in straight fashion, and he's being put in a bit of a dizzying twist, because look at the way that Alakhverdovi is able to spin around him, often leaving Harutyunyan with his back to his opponent. Now the cross-arm guard being utilized by Alakhverdovi, and explodes out of that with a two-shot salvo before the two men find themselves on the canvas. Well, first round in the book. I think it's going to be the man in blue who's earned that round, because he was far more accurate with his punch picking, whereas over in the red corner, Harutyunyan didn't find the range with any consistency. He was windmilling his shots rather than pushing them out in straight fashion. And there's an example of the laser-like accuracy coming from Alakhverdovi during the course of that opening round. So Alakhverdovi taking the first round for 4 of the 5 scoring judges.
Seconds out.
Judge number 2 preferring the work of the man in red.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And Baregham Harutyunyan has got to try and do something to get himself back into this contest, not back into it, because we're only in the second round and he wasn't able to establish his distance. And look at the manner in which he's conceding the longer reach that he possesses, walking up close to his man. And surely when you possess attributes such as his length of arm and towering height at the weight, you want to be trying to pile up points from the outside. But instead, in pursuit of his man, he's not letting straight punches go or using the jab to measure the gap, and finding himself chest to chest with his more compact opponents. And oftentimes he's fed a 1-2 on his way in. So he's continuing his pursuit. He's trying to pick up the pace. But where's that lead left hand from Harutyunyan? Again, look at how he poured with it. He didn't shoot it out straight, and it's such a long, straight weapon when utilized effectively. I can tell you here from my ringside commentary position that when he went back to the red corner, I couldn't hear what his coaches were saying to him, but his coach was making exactly that gesture, because look at the work with the lead left from Harutyunyan. Everything's coming in a windmill from the shoulder. There's a straight jab, but just keep it going and see if he can blind his man with it. Work his way inside, measure the gap, and try and find some semblance of distance. Because for the round and a half that we've had, he hasn't done that with any consistency yet, Harutyunyan. And Alakhverdovi, having taken the first round on a 4-1 split, while he's looking to lay a trap and draw his man in for the majority of this second round so far, precious few point scoring punches landed. Well, can't fault the intent or commitment of either boxer, but remember, it's Harutyunyan who conceded the first round on a 4-1 split. And he's yet to find his range or make life uncomfortable for Alakhverdovi. And you see that? Pawing with the shots again, rather than really putting them out there with purpose from the back foot. Left-right combination wasn't too far away from Alakhverdovi, and Alakhverdovi keen to show the referee that he's not the one doing the holding, but by doing that, he's not getting busy on the inside either. And he's got a long, lean torso to aim at there. Oh, that's a wonderful right hand during the course of that cluster from Alakhverdovi. And a counter left just before the bell, perhaps the moment of the highest quality in that second round. Not suggesting it's that alone that'll give him the round, but I think it will be another round for Alakhverdovi. Took the first on a 4-1 split, remember. Precious little happened in the round, but I think those two shots after the 10-second clapper will probably be enough for the man in blue to take it. There was a check right hand, and then he followed it up with another cuffing shot just before the bell. Right there. So that moment of quality in a round where precious few point scoring punches were landed by either man, well, it's been enough to give him a 3-2 split. And for all of his hustle and bustle and forward aggression, if it wasn't for that final moment of quality, well, could Harutyunyan have been in with a shout of edging it on a 3-2 split his way? As things stand, he's trailing 20 points to 18 for 3 of the 5 judges. The other 2 scorecards are tied at 19 points apiece. And that puts such a different complexion on the final round, because now the man in red needs a massive final 3 minutes to try and turn the tide in his favor. Alakhverdovi can afford to enter bout management mode here now. Got to ensure that he's not spoken to about running and not engaging. Going to have to hold his feet and let his hands go at some point, because remember, this is boxing, not athletics. And even though many a boxer possess blazing speed of foot and outstanding stamina, you've got to involve the hands, contact and combat as well up in the boxing ring. Alakhverdovi's not done that so far. He's on his bike, he's shooting out a left jab to keep the referee honest, and there's a crashing right hand that goes over the top from Harutyunyan, perhaps his best shot of the contest. The heads came together forcefully thereafter. Harutyunyan isn't giving up belief that he can turn this one around. Most efficient way to do it, is, of course, is with getting your man out of there inside the distance. So Harutyunyan going in search of that overhand right once again, but once more he finds himself completely conceding his longer length of reach and on the chest of Alakhverdovi. Alakhverdovi will be wary of picking up a cut when these heads are coming together in such forceful fashion. Again, it's becoming increasingly rough now, and there's an air of desperation about the work of Harutyunyan, which is understandable, but there has to be some quality as well. Look at how the heads are clashing together up at close range. Alakhverdovi again keen to show the referee that he's not holding, and this one becoming a bit of a maul fest on the inside. Looking for the overhand right once again, and he did get through with the left hand that followed Harutyunyan. Alakhverdovi again just with a quick glance over to his blue corner. Nice left jab and right cross while moving clockwise to his left from Alakhverdovi, and his corner continually telling him how long is left in the session. As an elite boxer, he will know that, of course. That clock, they've answered the bell so often that the judgment of timing is also almost intrinsic when you get to this level. Harutyunyan really has continued his pursuit with real purpose, but it hasn't always been effective. But you cannot fault the man's commitment, working with what he has in a bid to make it through to the medal rounds here in Dubai 2025. But I don't think it's going to be his night, because the insurance built up over the course of the first 6 minutes from Sakhil Alakhverdovi will see him go through to the final four, the semi-final stage. So at least World Championship bronze for Sakhil Alakhverdovi. But of course, he wants to return to the gold medal bout in a bid to try and emulate or improve the silver medal that he won in Tashkent 2 years ago. I think he's done enough, because remember, he had 3 scores, 20-18 going into the final round. But if it's 3-2, we will be going to bout review. Let's get the official verdict at the conclusion of that bout. So, just asking for some help from the boxing god, seemingly, is Harutyunyan. Nervous moments for both of the boxers as we await the official announcement of the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, after a bout review, your winner by split decision in the blue corner, representing Georgia, Sakhil Alakhverdovi.
So it went to bout review, but both the observer and the evaluator preferring the work and scoring in favor of Sakhil Alakhverdovi, and the 2023 World Championship silver medalist has made a return to the medal rostrum here on the global stage. The tournament #2 seed through to the semi-finals, and that prize of $10,000 for making the quarters has just increased to $75,000, because that is what the bronze medalist will earn, $75,000. As for Baregham Harutyunyan, he never stopped pursuing his man, but just couldn't find his range or distance with any consistency tonight. Spirited effort, but it's Sakhil Alakhverdovi, the tournament #2 seed, who progresses to the medal rostrum for the 2nd consecutive World Championships. Our next contest is in the 54-kilogram bantamweight division between boxers from Iran and Nepal.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, we enter the 341st contest in the elite men's under 54-kilogram bantamweight division. Introducing first your referee
IBA
from Russia, Serik.
On the right-hand side of the frame, enjoying the boxing action here on this
the red
7th
corner,
day of competition.
Iran, Mehdi Kazemi.
Third man in the
and
ring.
his opponent in the blue corner, representing Nepal, Chandra, Bahadur, Thapa.
The ropes to ensure that everything is correct and as it should be.
Your officials are from Uzbekistan, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Azerbaijan, Spain, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Our 5 scoring judges hail from Uzbekistan, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Azerbaijan, Spain, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So there is 19-year-old Mehdi Kazemi, 2024 World Youth Bronze Medalist at the event in Budva, Montenegro, as ringside to commentate at that tournament. Preparing for his third contest here in Dubai. As for Chandra Bahadur Thapa, he too preparing for his third bout. 4-0 victor over David Yegoryan of Armenia, the tournament number 6 seed in the round of 16 yesterday.
Round 1.
So we're in the 54-kilogram bantamweight division. It's quarterfinal action between boxers from Iran and Nepal. The taller figure wearing red is 19-year-old Mehdi Kazemi. Some adjustment going to be required to the bootlace of the man in blue, and that is Chandra Thapa, 26 years of age, part of a 5-strong Nepalese boxing team. Multiple national championship medals under his belt. His third bout here of Dubai 2025. In the round of 16 here, the man in red prevailed against a fellow teenager, Jawad Shamshir of Australia. He suffered a cut right eye in the third round after an accidental clash of heads. Had a point taken off in round number 2 en route to his split decision victory, 4-1. And the point deduction was for punching incorrectly. He landed with some solid punches, but many of them were with the inside of the glove, and he was spoken to repeatedly for what the referee determined was slapping, and so the point was removed. Let's see whether that eye is targeted by the left hook or the left jab of Thapa. Oh, that's a wonderful right hand over the top, and Thapa celebrating it with a little bit of a grin to himself. Right back to his work rather than admiring it for an overly long period of time. And you can see he's trying to land that sneaky overhand right counter and use quick feet to close the gap against his taller opponent. Stepping in with a good left hook to the body. Kazemi looking to keep his composure. Leaping left hook attempted by Thapa, who really does possess a bundle of fast twitch fibers. Very explosive boxer. Just inaccurate with his attempted work to body and then head. There he did land a left hook, which was somewhere around the armpit of Kazemi. And Kazemi hasn't yet established the left jab. There he tried to come back with a counter left-right combination after making his man miss. But these explosive bursts of aggression closing the gap in a flash from Thapa. There, Kazemi trying to establish some measurement of distance. Single phase attacks coming, but a wonderful right hand landed by Kazemi, perhaps his best shot of the entire contest, but then a solid counter in return from Thapa. Kazemi looking to measure his man with straight punches once again. First round in the book. The man in blue perhaps landing the more eye-catching shots over the course of the 3-minute frame. This man did begin to find his range the more we progressed through the round, had success with straight punches, but I think the greater amount of success came from the man in blue. Remember, we have 5 scoring judges using the 10-point must system, and we await the verdict as to how they will see the round. Well, there's the evidence of the right eye injury that Kazemi brought into this contest after the clash of heads against Jawad Shamshir. Australian schools medalist just last year is Shamshir. He's only 19 years of age himself. And there are the scores. So a clean sweep of the board for Thapa. So into the second round then. And again, helping himself to that snaking right cross right on the belt is Thapa. Beautiful work to the body and a swarming exchange attempted, but neither man particularly accurate. But he possesses blistering speed of hand and foot, and that's one way to try and slow it down. First the left hand to the body, then the right hand to the body from Kazemi, but coming back with a right hand over the top is Thapa. And the heads of in danger of clashing just a few moments ago. Big singles being launched by Thapa. And trying to get on the front foot, credit to him, but he's not yet found his distance with any consistency. Kazemi, he's landed that raking left jab on occasion. Here he's going in search of it once again. Tried to finish on the left hook, classic combination, but couldn't quite find the range with any of the three punches. Now he's keeping the attack going, which is good to see. Walking his man back to the blue corner and working the body effectively with that good right hand. Looking for the uppercut underneath is Kazemi, and again, keeping the attack going after he was inaccurate with the 1-2. But remember, sometimes the jab can be used as a decoy. Just keep putting it out there to try and blind your opponent or set him up to bring through the backhand. But he possesses terrific speed of foot, does Thapa. And when he finds himself in these corners, it's almost as though he flicks a switch sometimes and just sprints away to another portion of the ring. Oh, that's a cracking right hand, and again he spins off the line, counterclockwise to his right. Thapa finding his range wonderfully. There's the same right hand lead once again. Eye-catching punches that are moments of quality from the man from the pole. But credit to Kazemi. He's continuing to press, but he's got to be careful he doesn't smother his attempted work here. Can he begin to find some straight punch success? Willingly retreating to his own corner of his own volition is Thapa, and then a burst of punches to the body followed by a scoring left hook to the head. Back answers Kazemi, but then the final word came from Thapa to make it first and third boxing for the man in blue. Reaching for the right hand, his back foot coming off the canvas. Kazemi. Thapa looking for that right hand over the top, which has served him so well. Sitting on the ropes willingly once again, and he's all smiles as he goes back to that blue corner. Remember, he took the first round unanimously. There was a spirited effort from Kazemi, not suggesting it was ineffectual, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to take the second round. But he did try to pick up the tempo and vary his attack. But that's and there was the heads coming together. But we saw the referee making the gesture for incorrect punching a few moments ago. That's what he was doctor point for in his previous contest at the round of 16. But he did try to turn things up here in terms of his intensity and punch output. But I think he's been matched and indeed bettered by the man in blue. So the second round complete. Both of them scored unanimously in favor of Thapa.
Your third and final round.
So the third round underway here, and the man in red, Mehdi Kazemi, the 2024 World Youth Bronze Medalist from the edition in the coastal town of Budva, Montenegro last year. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament, and he was superb in boxing his way through to the medal rostrum. If he hopes to do that here, he's got to overturn a deficit of 20 points to 18 on all 5 scorecards of the ringside judges. And now Chandra entering bout management mode, just skitting across the ropes, along the ropes laterally. Mehdi bombing, oh, that's a wonderful right hand again. What a counter a right-hand lead from Thapa after the man in red enjoyed some success. Remember, Kazemi just 19 years of age, in with a more mature boxer. And there's been no diminution of his desire. He's continuing to press. But Thapa possesses wonderfully quick feet and is an accurate pot shotter. Not too far away with that right hand. There's a solid right jab to the body. And when he launches that right hand lead, he really does put everything behind it. He's such a bundle of fast twitch fiber. Well, the cut, is it a new cut or is it the right eye that's been opened up? The referee has bumped his knuckles together, meaning that this injury has been caused by an accidental clash of heads. And it's the same injury, I think, that he brought into the boxing ring. But it's been opened up again here, just approaching the halfway stage of the final round. So, kidney punch is being launched by Kazemi. That's a rabbit punch from Kazemi. Went around the rear of the head. It was also with the inside of the glove. And again, having picked up a warning for that and been spoken to on a couple of occasions here in this quarter-final bout, picked up a warning in his round of 16 bout. That technique is something that his coaches are going to have to work on. His talent is beyond question, the 19-year-old Kazemi. Again, you don't get through to an age group world championship final four without possessing talent and all the intangibles of determination and discipline and desire. Also need a little bit of luck as well, as Thapa picking off his man now as he's, oh, that's a wonderful check left hand, and he's having real pot shot success in the face of this front foot pressure that Kazemi is looking to apply. But he's playing right into the wheelhouse of Thapa, who is in bout management mode. The clock is in his favor. Oh, what a two-punch combination. Left, right, followed by another nudging little left uppercut underneath, which just grazed the chin of Kazemi. And Kazemi bearing that gum shield back into the mix, looking for the finishing shot, but he's not going to be able to find it. And it will be the man in blue from Nepal who will be going through to the medal stages. What a fantastic display of patient pot shotting. And despite the best efforts of Mehdi Kazemi, it will be this man, Thapa, who will be going through. His teammate, Lal Prasad Upreti, became Nepal's first ever boxer in the quarterfinal. He's been emulated here, and now Thapa is through to the final four. Terrific performance. Let's get the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, representing Nepal, Chandra Bahadur Thapa.
So Chandra Bahadur Thapa of Nepal makes it through to the final four in the men's 54-kilogram bantamweight division, enriching himself by at least $75,000, which will be split between his coach, his federation, and himself. And that is a wonderful accomplishment by the Nepalese coaching setup, and indeed the talent of Thapa as well, because they drew up the instructions, he carried them out in the boxing ring. And it was a very smart display of effective pot shotting, picking his punches beautifully. And he's all smiles as he leaves the boxing ring. We'll see Chandra Thapa again at the semi-final stage. Spirited effort by Mehdi Kazemi, unable to emulate his accomplishment of a World Youth Bronze last year here in the senior event, but will no doubt see him again in years to come. But this moment belongs to Thapa. Our next contest is between boxers from Kazakhstan and Zambia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, we enter the 342nd contest in the elite men's under 54 kilogram bantamweight division. Introducing first into the ring, your referee from Serbia, Jovana Ugranovic. Please welcome into the red corner representing Kazakhstan, Saken Bibossinov.
So our third person in the ring, checking the ropes, Jovana Ugranovic of Serbia will be taking charge of this one.
And please welcome his opponent in the blue corner representing Zambia, Mwengo Mwale.
Our 5 scoring judges hail from Algeria, Kyrgyzstan, Croatia, Cuba and Moldova.
Your judges are from Algeria, Kyrgyzstan, Croatia, Cuba and Moldova.
So there is the familiar figure of Saken Bibossinov, the tournament number 7 seed, 2021 World Championship gold medalist at flyweight, Olympic bronze medalist in the delayed games of Tokyo earlier in that year. Got a World Championship bronze in 2019 in the edition in Yekaterinburg, and here he is 1 win away from returning to the medal rostrum. In the round of 16, the 28-year-old prevailed over Issa Faki of Tanzania in what was a pretty incident-filled second round, but he won it despite receiving an 8 count. His opponent is 21-year-old Mwengo Mwale, the tournament number 2 seed. And at the round of 16, he prevailed over the man from Sri Lanka, Jayanath Kumara, who was docked 2 points for excessive holding.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. This 54 kilogram bantamweight quarterfinal is between 2 seeded boxers who hail from Kazakhstan and Zambia. The southpaw, wearing red, is Saken Bibossinov, former world champion back in 2021 down at flyweight. He also got himself a bronze medal in the edition before that, and an Olympic bronze medalist in 2020. In the recent edition of the the recent edition of the World Championships, it was Hasanboy Duzmatov, his great rival from Uzbekistan, the Central Asian nations with 2 of the best boxers in the world at this weight. They met at the quarterfinal, and Hasanboy beat him to progress through to what would be a gold in front of his home crowd. So the man wearing blue is Zambia's number 2 seed. That is Mwengo Mwale, 21 years of age. The 2024 All-Africa Games silver medalist. We've spoken of the delayed Olympic Games where Bibossinov earned that bronze. The All-Africa Games were delayed until 2024 in the Ghanaian capital. Were scheduled for completion a year before. Both men going in search of straight punches as they're just fencing with the lead left hand. Lead hands, because of course Bibossinov, a southpaw. The referee wanting some engagement from the boxers, and again getting the better of that exchange is Mwale. And now Mwale is stepping on the gas and working effectively. There was a good left hand to the body which may have hurt Bibossinov, because he dropped his hand and he's getting on his bike, targeting that same spot once again with his left hook. Is Mwale, and a bit of a rough patch being endured here by Bibossinov, keeping a poker face, and another backhand, a bolo shot dug in just above the belt line. Terrific work to the body in particular from Mwale. Standing flat-footed, and he's found his range more immediately in this bantamweight quarterfinal, and a left hook over the top of the right hand from Mwale is a cracking shot. Bibossinov going in search of his get-back because the previous 40 seconds or so have belonged to Mwengo Mwale. It was a body shot for my money that started Bibossinov's challenges here. He comes back with a spearing left cross of his own, looking for the same shot downstairs once again, but there is a bolo backhand followed by a rapier straight right cross from Mwale. And Mwengo Mwale boxing the final half of the round beautifully. Brought the body shot into play. And that sent Bibossinov on his back foot, and then he was targeted to the body consistently. And I think the man in blue has done the better work in that opening round. There's very little to the extent that the referee had to intervene, but there's an example of some of the body punching. Beautiful placement from Mwengo Mwale, and he kept the attack going. Keeping his composure under fire is Bibossinov, but for my money, that body work should be rewarded. As you'd expect of a boxer of Bibossinov's quality, he did have his own moments as well.
Seconds out.
In the presence of the IBA president, Mr. Umar Kremlov.
Round
able
two.
to bring you the scores from the opening round. But in my estimation, it was the man in blue who did the better work. But we have to wait on the official verdicts of the 5 scoring judges. The second round underway. The battle for the front foot between orthodox and southpaw, so crucial. Looking for the body once again is Mwale, but there's a counter left hand landed upstairs from Bibossinov, and Mwale just backing away. Was he buzzed by that? Tries to bomb his way out of his own blue corner. Good work to the body once again, although the forearms providing an effective line of defense from Mwale. Excuse me, from Bibossinov in the attack of Mwale. Good right hook to the body, but a right hook landed upstairs from Bibossinov on the counter. What I thought was a good body shot has been intimated that it was low, as Mwale turning right hands underneath to both body and head. Bibossinov snaking out that southpaw right jab. Good bolo shot to the body from Bibossinov. Looking for the right cross in response is Mwale. Just long with the right cross, and a pecking southpaw left landed by Bibossinov. Again, the lead legs between orthodox and southpaw getting in a bit of a tangle. Quick trip to the canvas for Mwale, who's looking to dig away with that backhand as the two men continue to fence with the lead hands. Solid right hand landed by Mwale, and then a bolo shot, but he's going to be spoken to about a low blow again. So he's going to have to make an adjustment here, because from my commentary position ringside, oh, that's a cracking right cross on the resumption landed by Mwale. But if he's spoken to again about what are borderline body punches, he could well find himself with a point deducted. And that would put an entirely different complexion on what is a really competitive contest so far. Double right hand, saw the second one get through from Mwale. He's whipping that bolo shot into the body once again. Bibossinov responding. And Bibossinov looking to punch out of his counter. There's another right hand slung into the body just above the belt line, as Mwale continuing to invest in body shots. Bibossinov trying to creep onto the front foot, but he's picked off by a raking right cross from Mwale. Bolo left hand not too far away from Bibossinov, and what a right hand just before the bell. Mwale not interested in touching gloves because he feels that he's got the measure of his man. Another very competitive round of boxing. I thought that Mwale did enough to take the first. Bibossinov responding as you would expect a champion of his caliber to do. But I'm intrigued and eager to see the scores here. because these contests, these rounds have been very competitive indeed. The first round, I thought the bodywork of Mwale was clearly enough to give him the frame. Bibossinov responding in the second to make it altogether closer, but an example of those crosses. Why I felt that the man in blue is right in this one, where we appear to be having an issue with the IBA live scoring here, so not able to bring you the scorecards.
Your third and
well, I find that staggering. I find that absolutely staggering, because that means that the first round must have been scored in favor of Bibossinov on a 4-1 split. And I am bewildered as to how anybody watching that opening 3 minutes could arrive at that conclusion. The man was hurt to the body, he was scored upon to the body consistently, and yet, if my arithmetic and interpretation of that scorecard is correct, he took the first round on a 4-1 split, and moreover, he took the second round unanimously. And surely that's not what we're watching here before our eyes. But that's how things stand. Mwale will have been made aware of that by his corner team, and so he's going to have a massive final 3 minutes as he digs down to the body effectively once again. So it's not one-way traffic, and you wouldn't expect it to be in against an operator of the quality of Bibossinov. But in that first round in particular, I thought he was bested. And yet, for my money, inexplicably, he has been declared as a 4-1 winner of that opening round. And moreover, he was given the second round unanimously as well, which I think is really, that's really unfortunate from Mwale's perspective. So Mwale has actually reduced his punch output here. He's taking left hand to the body, lands the right cross once again, and it's another trade-off, and it's Bibossinov who just driven backwards a little bit. So looking for the uppercut underneath, Bibossinov out of his shell to try and counter. Beautiful left cross from Bibossinov, and then a right jab, and Bibossinov just beginning to measure the distance now that Mwale has for some reason reduced his punch output. His best successes in this contest, for my money, has been when he's got on the front foot and backed up the man in red, just as he did with that explosive reverse 1-2 on the counter. Remember, the referee spoke to both men about their lack of engagement, and shortly thereafter, this was in the opening round, Mwale got on the front foot, drove Bibossinov backwards, and appeared to visibly hurt the man to the body. And that's when he enjoyed his best passage of the round, for my money enough to give him the round and not to labour the point as he lands another solid right cross. But he lost the first round 4-1 when we eventually saw the scores. Good bolo backhand to the body from Bibossinov. Bibossinov trying to creep his way forwards. Again, I'm not quite sure I understand the tactics here, because I appreciate that the scores were late, but the blue corner must have told Mwale, listen, this is how things stand. There's no room for emotion as Bibossinov digs in a good left hand to the body. You've got to get after this man and produce a massive final round. And boxing at that pace, he hasn't managed to do that. So I don't think that the man in blue has produced a massive final round that he needed because of the complexion of the scorecards after 6 minutes of boxing. And I just wonder whether that message was communicated by the corner, because if it was, then you would have expected Mwengo Mwale to come out with far greater intensity in the third round than he actually demonstrated. There was more intensity and punch output in his work over the first 2 rounds. And again, because of the scorecards, one thinks, well, it's going to be the man in red who's going through.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner from Kazakhstan, Saken Bibossinov.
So Saken Bibossinov taking all 3 rounds for all but 1 judge. And the man from Zambia, Mwengo Mwale, eliminated at the quarter-final stage. We'll see no more of the number 2 seed, but he gave a terrific account of himself over the course of that contest, particularly in rounds 1 and 2. His bodywork in the opening round was notable, but it's Saken Bibossinov, the tournament number 7 seed, who returns to the medal rostrum for a 3rd World Championships. He's at least emulated his 2019 bronze, and he'll have designs on returning to top spot, just as he did in 2021. Our next contest is between boxers from Tajikistan and Kazakhstan as we move up to the 60-kilogram lightweight division. Napolitan of Bosnia-Herzegovina is the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 343rd contest in the elite men's under 60-kilogram lightweight division.
So our scoring judges hail from Zimbabwe, Azerbaijan, Algeria, Russia, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Please welcome into the red corner, representing Tajikistan, Akmal Ubaidov. And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Kazakhstan, Serik Temirzhanov. Your judges at ringside from Zimbabwe, Azerbaijan, Algeria, Russia, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So there is Akmal Ubaidov, part of a 13-strong Tajikistan boxing team, reigning Asian champion with a comfortable victory over North Macedonia's Alan Rustamovsky in the round of 16. Over in the blue corner is a 2021 World Championship silver medalist at featherweight. Took Asian silver the following year, Tokyo Olympian. And that is Serik Temirzhanov.
Round 1.
So we're underway. An all Central Asian affair between boxers from Tajikistan and Kazakhstan. 2 highly decorated boxers facing off for a place in the final 4. The man wearing red is 25-year-old Akmal Ubaidov, the reigning Asian champion at 60 kilograms. The tournament number 3 seed is facing off against Serik Temirzhanov. He too part of a full-size boxing team, 13 men here representing Kazakhstan. World Championship silver medalist in 2021 at featherweight. He's competing here at 60 kilograms lightweight. And in the round of 16, he beat Andrew Chalata of Zambia, the number 6 seed, with a 2nd round stoppage. Uncalled a left hook to the body, which was a sumptuous piece of skill, and the referee waved it off immediately. So right hand, left hook to the body, not too far away from Ubaidov. Nice left jab from Temirzhanov, looking to launch a 3-shot combination, ending on that left hook to the body was Ubaidov. Check left hook attempted again by Temirzhanov. Right cross to the body is a scoring shot. Switching southpaw now is Ubaidov. Both men having to really think for their openings, and he's spinning off the line so effectively, particularly clockwise, when he just cuffs his man with a left to make it a check hook. Good left hook to the body on a change of angles by Ubaidov, but then fed a left jab as he tried to weave his way away from it. Temirzhanov working the lead left stick effectively. Oh, there's a nice right hand off the ropes landed by Temirzhanov. Left uppercut, right cross from Temirzhanov sees him get the better of that trade-off because Ubaidov launched a shot as well. He switched southpaw just on the disengagement. Heads coming together between the two boxers. Good work to the body on that forward foray from Ubaidov. Good right hand over the top from Ubaidov. Really measured his man and found a home for his right hand lead. Temirzhanov secures his get back with a right cross of his own. Operating with his hands down by his belt line now. Using that lead left hand like a rapier. Terrific round of skill and a moment of respect between the two. Some of the action from the first round. It's a cracking right cross, but then look at the counter that comes from the man in blue. But that right cross, perhaps the pick of the punches in the first 3 minutes, and perhaps that's been enough to give Ubaidov a clean sweep of the cards. Temirzhanov perhaps a little unlucky not to get a share of it because he was in it every second of the way. And remember, his check left hands in particular were really effective in the first half of the round, but it's this man who's taken it.
Round two.
As we move into the second round. So good work to the body from Akmal Ubaidov to begin this second round. And he's burgeoning with confidence. Lead left hand. Not too far away. And Temirzhanov, what can he do differently? Oh, that's a solid left hook, and it sends Temirzhanov tottering across the canvas and tumbling into his own corner post. He's beaten the count, he's trying to walk it off, looking calmly in the direction of his corner, but what a single shot. And Temirzhanov, well, we're only just past the minute mark in the round. He's going back into the breach, perhaps trying to demonstrate that offense is the best form of defense as he uncoils the left hook. But Ubaidov now, without looking to get greedy, will be seeking to press home the advantage after a terrific punch. Sent his man to the floor. Switching southpaw on the edge of range. Now remember, a knockdown will not necessarily result in a 10-8 round for the man who has scored it. So still plenty of time for Temirzhanov to try and get himself back into this one. Runs into another left hand from the southpaw stance, and another left cross gets through the defenses as Ubaidov changes stance in front of him once again. And this is a terrific second round being produced by Akmal Ubaidov. The reigning Asian champion finding his range beautifully against the 2021 World Championship finalist. Left hand to the body was attempted by Bibossinov as he catapulted himself off the ropes. Looking for that lead left hook once again. Temirzhanov having his chin checked by another left hook on the inside. Switching southpaw as he's feeding his man check right hand. Left cross through the guard from Ubaidov. So Temirzhanov, as both men disregarding the command of stop. Receiving instructions on the fly from his corner is Temirzhanov, but his legs don't appear to have fully recovered from that knockdown that he suffered earlier in the round from an absolutely exquisite punch from Akmal Ubaidov. Well, he took the first round, and this second round was even more convincing for Akmal Ubaidov. The punctuation point, a single shot which knocked this man to the canvas. A lead left hook out of the orthodox stance. Caught him as he was just finishing his own attempt at offense. And he found a home for it. Cracking shot. Count given in favor, or count given against Temirzhanov. And he's conceded the second round unanimously.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So too much moisture on the face and body of the man in red. That belt line needs a little bit of adjustment as well to ensure that it's visible. But Akmal Ubaidov in a really strong position after 6 minutes of boxing, took the first round unanimously, where Temirzhanov, as he runs into another right hand, and his timing tonight has been absolutely masterful, digging away with punches off the ropes. And Temirzhanov has found his range right from the opening bell. Excuse me, Akmal Ubaidov has found his range right from the opening bell. And the punctuation coming with the lead left hook. He switched stance repeatedly. I say it was a lead left hook. It came behind a right cross which didn't land, but then the left hook follow-up was right on the money, and it sent the man to the floor. But he didn't produce a 10-8 round for Ubaidov, and so a big final round from Temirzhanov could get him back to parity. But look at the manner in which he's moving almost effortlessly around the boxing ring. These men will be concentrating, locked in on their task, but when things are going favorably, it's amazing how fatigue doesn't seem to be a factor. And they are certainly going well for the man in red right now, flowing beautifully. Whereas the time is very much the enemy. Oh, Serik Temirzhanov, with every elapsing second, he's closer to elimination from this 2025 edition of the IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. Left hook again, not too far away when Temirzhanov was going in search of a big left uppercut. Temirzhanov remaining in pursuit of the punch or punches that can get his man out of there inside the distance, but effective spoiling being implemented by Ubaidov here. He knows that he's in the strong position on the scorecards, 20 points to 18 for all 5 scoring judges. So Temirzhanov scoring with the left hand. And now there's more example of the clock-killing tactics being employed by Ubaidov, just preventing Temirzhanov from working away. Got to ensure that he's not deducted a point, which would make things pretty interesting. But it's been a very clever display by the reigning Asian champion. And Akmal Ubaidov has demonstrated switch hitting, precision, and variety in what is a victory that will carry him through to the medal stages. And look at the contrast as each boxer returns to their respective corners. They know that Akmal Ubaidov remains in contention for a place in the final Whereas for Serik Temirzhanov, the 2021 World Championship silver medalist, his appearance at Dubai 2025 coming to an end at the quarterfinal stage. The punctuation point was a left hook which sent him tottering across the canvas and tumbling into his own blue corner post in the second round. And I think body language so instructive. Serik Temirzhanov knows it isn't his night, because the boxers know more than anybody. So let's get the official particulars at the conclusion of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision in the red corner from Tajikistan, Akmal Ubaidov.
So Akmal Ubaidov perhaps conceding the final round, but there a roar of exultation. And how about that, summoning up the energy for that reverse somersault and explosive burst of shadow boxing. And we're going to see him again in the medal stages. At least $75,000 richer is the reigning Asian champion, continuing his fantastic run through Dubai 2025. 3 wins out of 3 in the lightweight division, and he's gone through to the semi-final stage at the expense of the 2021 Olympian and World Championship silver medalist from the edition in Belgrade 4 years ago. And that was the moment of confirmation. Our next contest is between boxers from Brazil and Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter bout 344 in the elite men's under 60 kilogram lightweight division. Firstly, let's introduce your referee from Moldova, Valery Pusatov. Introducing into the red corner from Brazil, Alisson da Silva Gonçalves.
Our 5 scoring judges hail from Kyrgyzstan, Iraq, Kazakhstan, Cuba, and Croatia.
And his opponent in the blue corner, fighting out of Russia, Vsevolod Shumkov.
So up into the boxing ring is Brazil's Alisson da Silva Gonçalves, preparing for his 4th bout, having opened his tournament in a round of 64, Cuba, and he has been sensational so far. Beat Respect Bektenov at the round of 16. The tournament number 7 seed edged out after bout review 5-2, and a split decision verdict in his favor. And there is the tournament number 2 seed, Vsevolod Shumkov, 2023 World Championship bronze medalist, the European champion from the event in Belgrade last year. In the round of 16, he faced the Ethiopian 19-year-old Haymanot Zwedu, prevailed on a 5-0 unanimous decision victory, but the respect that Zwedu earned with the manner in which he competed against one of the very best boxers in the world, well, it was wonderful to see. Because at one point, Shumkov, and indeed every boxer, was Haymanot Zwedu, walking through the door of a gym, very little experience, and Zwedu really went about his mission with purpose, believing he could win. But Shumkov knowing far too much, but the respect between the two was wonderful to behold.
Round 1.
So we're in the 60 kilogram lightweight division, and this is a contest between boxers from Brazil and Russia. The man wearing red currently operating out of the orthodox stance, but he is an adept switch hitter. And that is Alisson da Silva Gonçalves. His opponent, wearing blue, is Vsevolod Shumkov, tournament number 2 seed. He coming in looking for a return to the medal rostrum after picking up World Championship bronze in Tashkent 2 years ago. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament, and this man's speed of reflex and punch has been a hallmark of his boxing. So looking to swarm his way forwards while remaining as an orthodox boxer is De Silva. Getting the better of that exchange is Shumkov, ending with that right hand over the top. And perhaps for the first time in the tournament, as De Silva switches to southpaw, he's meeting someone who can match him in terms of speed of hand and foot. There's a gap in international experience as well, but De Silva, a very experienced operator. 12-time medalist in the Brazilian championships over the years, undefeated in the professional ranks. And here competing in his World Championship debut. But he has been a real highlight of this tournament, the man from Brazil. Looking for the right hand over the top, but just inaccurate as Shumkov seeking to creep his way forward. And look at that, De Silva running into a left jab when he launched his forward foray. Again, being made to pay a price as Shumkov just on the edge of range, working those hands furiously and scoring to both body and head. So De Silva and his team are going to have to come up with some type of adaptive strategy if things continue as they are. Because again, he's tucking up, but he's being kept occupied by these combinations being pushed out by Shumkov. De Silva just a little inaccurate. Wonderful right hand to the body and left hook, and then a counter right hand from Shumkov. And he's being made to pay a heavy price when he lets his hands go, is De Silva. And that can be a really difficult place for a boxer to be. He takes a left hook to the body, trying to box his way off the ropes, but he's being overwhelmed. And the referee, Mr. Valery Pastuhov, intervenes and issues a standing count. Very difficult moments now for Arosan De Silva. He's looking out into the crowd for some inspiration from his compatriots here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. But a wonderful opening round, punctuated by that standing count, and also taking inspiration from this vocal support that he's receiving, is the tournament #2 seed, Vsevolod Shumkov, with a very good 3 minutes of boxing. So they've got to get to work quickly in that corner to come up with some type of strategy, and then Arosan De Silva has got to try and implement it, because it was a rather torrid first 3 minutes that he endured in the opening round here. Because whenever he let his hands go, he was made to pay a price of being counted. And the deeper we got into the round, the more Shumkov grew in confidence and authority and just began to assert it in the final stages. And even when De Silva has sought to pot shot off the ropes, look at him try to free the hands and break up the defenses. And the attack bringing about an 8 count, which was the punctuation point of a pretty dominant round of boxing. And we see 2 10-8 scores returned from the judges from Cuba and Croatia.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And Arosan De Silva Gonçalves, in his 4th bout of the tournament, facing the biggest challenge of Dubai 2025 so far. Taking an 8 count in the opening round. Scoring with a good thrusting jab to the body. But you see every time he tries to land with something more than a single shot, he's being countered. And I'm not suggesting he's intimidated. There's a good left hand to the body is slung in on a resumption from Shumkov, who is razor sharp tonight. But look at this. I'm not suggesting that he's intimidated, but sometimes when you're met with a boxer who just punishes you every time the hands are let go, it can result in a reluctance to throw punches. But of course the weight of, oh, that's a cracking left hook, and then another left hand. Backs De Silva towards the ropes. He's trying to bob and weave his way out of trouble on the strands. But such is the hailstorm of punches coming in the direction, and that's why he's had his chin checked by a left hook. But the way to that timing, or the way that speed can be bested is with timing. Can De Silva discover the type of timing to negate the speed advantage that Shumkov enjoyed? Look at how he changed angles in front of his man and then got to work with that lead left hook once again, trying to cover up and demonstrate that he's still in the contest, but he's breathing through an open mouth now because the concentration that he's having to summon up just to remain in contention. You get the impression that he's redlining it here, and Shumkov perhaps has more gears that he can engage. It's a very difficult mission for the man in red. He's still remaining committed to it. But Shumkov, that's a good left hand to the body from De Silva. It may have been a little south of the border. Shumkov rendered inaccurate as De Silva was able to weave away from the punches. Is he becoming accustomed to the speed of Shumkov now? But he wasn't able to complete the equation and make the man pay. Scoring left jab from Shumkov. Bolo shot to the body is a scoring shot from the man in red. So single shots I don't think are going to get it done for De Silva, but when he tried to punch with Shumkov, he was picked off and came out second best in the exchanges. Well, credit to Arilson De Silva for changing his tactics in that second round. I think it's been a better performance, but I don't think it's enough for him to win the round. And Shumkov, very effective with his punch picking and his placement through 6 completed minutes of boxing. And again, did try to change things. De Silva targeted the body more, but despite his adaptation and his implementation of it, he's probably lost the second round across the board as well. So there's confirmation, a clean sweep of the cards, but I suppose a better round indicated by the fact that no 10-8 scores were returned as they were in the first for judges 4 and 5.
Your third and final rounds.
So we move into round number 3 then, and you see Arilson De Silva saying, "Bring it to me," pounding his chest and pointing to the canvas saying, "Stand and fight." And Shumkov saying, "No way," bringing to mind the conversations that we've been told about between the late, great, marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard, the 1976 Olympic champion. Sugar Ray Leonard has since said in various documentaries, and I've had the privilege of speaking with him on several occasions, both on camera for interviews and away from the cameras, and he said that marvelous Marvin Hagler was saying through his gum shield, "Fight me," and referring to him in less than complimentary terms, saying, fight me," and Sugar Ray Leonard remained on his toes and would not engage with the switch hitting sensation from Brockton, Massachusetts. So just almost entering bout management mode here now. Here's Shumkov, and again, scything punches being launched by the man in red, but Shumkov ensuring that he's not there to be on the end of them. He set his stall out early, taking it to his man in the first round, ensuring that he won it in the second, but here, just content to box in bursts because the onus is on the man in red to try and overturn the 20 points to 18 deficit that he faces for 3 of the 5 judges, and that's because the other 2 have it 20-17. Terrific work with the right hand. De Silva trying to weave away from it, but he couldn't evade that left hook. And he's showing machismo and courage in there now. Is De Silva, and he's continuing to say, "Come on, let's have it out, bring it to me." But Shumkov, with his mind on a return to the semi-final stage. That's a good left hand to the body from De Silva. He targets the same shot once again. but the deeper we go into the round, he's going to need a single shot KO or a combination to turn this one around. Overhand right blocked by the left glove of Shumkov, who counters with a right hand success of his own. It's a nice movement in the pocket as a wide-legged stance, and then a counter right hand out of a crouch lands for De Silva. Shumkov got to keep his concentration here. He won't want to sustain an injury. So a terrific contest between Vsevolod Shumkov and Arilson De Silva Gonçalves. The Brazilian boxer in his World Championship debut, starting his tournament in the round of 64, winning 3 contests to book his place here at the quarterfinals. I think his sensational tournament has come to an end here, and it's Vsevolod Shumkov who will return to the medal stages for the 2nd consecutive World Championships. A very composed display indeed. Took control of the proceedings, particularly in round 1. Maintained his superiority in round number 2 before entering bout management mode in the 3rd. Still think he's done enough to take that one, but ensuring that he didn't run into a stray elbow or a misplaced head. So Shumkov will be going through to the final 4. Let's get the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision in the blue corner from Russia, Vsevolod Shumkov.
So Vsevolod Shumkov, a unanimous point decision victor over Arilson De Silva Gonçalves, who has been a real star here in ring B. 4 contests over the course of the tournament, but running into one of the very best boxers in the world, and it's the tournament number 2 seed, who enriches himself by at least $75,000 and has returned to the medal stages for the 2nd consecutive World Championships. Some of the action from that bout. Our next contest is in the 67-kilogram welterweight division between boxers from Azerbaijan and Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now move on to our 345th contest in the elite men's 67-kilogram welterweight division.
So our referee,
please welcome firstly your referee from Turkmenistan, Ishanguli Meretnyazov. Please welcome to the red corner,
from China,
representing
Bosnia,
Azerbaijan,
Kyrgyzstan, Zimbabwe, and Moldova.
Gahramanov. And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Russia, Yevgeny Kool. Your judges at ringside from China, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kyrgyzstan,
So there is
Zimbabwe,
Gahramanov,
and Moldova.
Azerbaijan boxer, part of an 11-strong boxing team. 21 years of age. And in the round of 16, he beat Ian Thomas Casaza of Argentina, giving his man an 8 count in the opening round. En to a unanimous point decision victory. His opponent is Yevgeny Kool, the 23-year-old from Russia. National champion in 2021, competed in the World Championships at the Stark Arena in Belgrade the same year. And in the round of 16, he beat Mateus Barbosa da Costa of Guinea-Bissau with a first-round knockout, a devastating left hook to the body, causing his opponent to spit out the mouthpiece, and the referee waved it off immediately.
Round one.
So this is quarter-final action in the men's 67-kilogram welterweight division. It's between boxers from Azerbaijan and Russia. The boxer wearing red is Azerbaijan's Zur Gahramanov, 21 years of age, competed in the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool earlier this year. Oh, and a terrific left hand once again from the man in blue. Yevgeny Kool has scored 2 first-round knockouts en route to the quarterfinals with body shots. This time it was a hook to the head, and it's sent Gahramanov to the canvas, and he's looking to bring that vaunted left hand into play again. Rabbit punch around the rear of the head causes Gahramanov to touch down, no knockdown. But the man out of the southpaw stance showing terrific timing as he digs the left hook down to the body during that attempted cluster. There's a left hook to the body attempted once more from Kool. So got to be careful he doesn't smother his own work here, Gahramanov. Spinning out of the corner smartly is Kool. Just touching with the jab upstairs, looking to bring that overhand left into play. Attempting the bolo shot to the body is Kool. But looking to take it to his opponent, the number 6 seed, is Gahramanov. Inaccurate with the left cross, but he came back with the right hook out of the southpaw stance, did Kool. And despite being sent to the canvas, the belief continues to burn brightly within Gahramanov. Oh, that's a beautiful left hand to the solar plexus, and the follow-up attack brings about a second standing count. Now Gahramanov is keen to show the official that he's okay, but his problems were started by that bolo left hand into the solar plexus. So closing seconds of the opening round, the body targeted once again with the backhand, then another solid left hook, spinning around the clock face smartly to his left. There's Yevgeny Kool with a wonderful opening round of boxing. Well, this man was floored early in the round. And it was the backhand that did it. The counter left hook off the back foot. It's the left hook to the body that has done all the damage, but this time the clipping left hook to the chin. Yevgeny Kool demonstrating wonderful timing, and it was that backhand to the body followed by this attack which resulted in a referee stepping in for the second count of the round. 1 knockdown, 1 standing count. And a dominant first 3 minutes for Yevgeny Kool.
Seconds out.
Clean sweep of the cards for the tournament number 6 seed. Number 6 seed. 10-8 scores across the board.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round. And continuing to be the aggressor over that front foot is Gahramanov, but he's perhaps so keen to get in the mix that he's probably smothering his own work here. Again, look at where he finds himself. It's a crook of the elbow that's landing there. That left hook not too far away. And he's keeping his cool under fire. Is the tournament number 6 seed. Again, the intensity of Gahramanov cannot be faulted, but does he need a little more planning behind his forward forays? Not suggesting that he's running in blind, but once he gets there, he's invariably finding himself in this type of position, and that's not going to help his cause as he bids to overturn the 10-8 deficit that he faces across the board after being dropped by a wonderful counter southpaw left hook off the back foot from Evgeny Kool. Solid shot landed by Gahramanov, and another one snaps the head back of Evgeny Kool, turning the tables to lend himself a cheeky left hook with Gahramanov on the ropes was Kool. Oh, that's a good left hand to the body as the chest came together. A left hand to the solar plexus was driven in with bad intentions from Evgeny Kool. Same shot attempted once again. And remember, Kool's 2 previous bouts in the round of 32 and round of 16. And the 36 boxers make up the 67-kilogram welterweight bracket, so the action getting underway in the round of 64 as another left hand visibly doubles over Gahramanov, and the follow-up 1-2 to the unprotected chin stopped him in his tracks, and it's the 3rd count of the contest, 2nd standing count after he was decked in the opening round as well. Vocal support cascading down from the stands here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. Evgeny Kool in complete control. And for all of the ambition that the man in red has shown when he's been hit often and hurtfully, particularly to the body tonight. A very good round of boxing once again. Remember, we had 10-8 rounds for all 5 scoring judges in the first. And Evgeny Kool bringing about a standing count in the second. So 2 10-8 scores returned in that second round for Evgeny Kool, and he leads by a massive margin on the scorecard with 3 minutes of boxing remaining.
Your 3rd and final round.
So as we move into the 3rd and final round of this 67-kilogram welterweight quarterfinal, the man in red needs a massive final 3 minutes because he's trailing 20 points to 17 on multiple scorecards and 20 points to 16 on the ref for 2 of the scoring judges and 20 points to 16 on the others. He's taken 3 counts overall. He was floored in the first round, then he was given a standing count, and then he's taken a standing count in round number 2. Oh, there's another left hand to the body, partially blocked by the glove of Gahramanov. But you can see the manner in which he's breathing, I think, is feeling the effects of these punches as Kool looking to break him down to the body. And he's been aggressive ever since picking himself up off the floor from that first knockdown, which occurred within the first 15 seconds of the round. Check right hand once again, but by coming forward in the manner that he is, he could well run onto a perfectly placed punch, which would see the impact doubled up. Good left hand to the body once again. And then a right jab is snapped home upstairs. And again, absolutely cannot fault the desire of Gahramanov. But I just wonder whether there should have been a little more planning, because everything is a single phase attack. Comes in with such commitment that if the initial offense is inaccurate, long or short, he finds himself chest to chest with Call, and he's not able to get any punches away, crowding his own work. There's the example we're just suggesting. And all of this, Call will do all contest long. Look at that, he's even engaging in a conversation with his coach right next to our commentary position here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center. And again, it's a case of one and done. So committed to offense is Gahramanov. There's a right hand which just disrupts the boxing stance of Call, but then he runs Gahramanov into a body shot. So changing approach, and as I suggest that he charges forward once again, takes another bolo backhand to the body. As another one dug in right on the bell, and now you see there is a change of approach, because Gahramanov was trying to reciprocate with body shots, but for the most part, he was so determined to get shots to the head away that in the event that they missed, he just found himself entwined with Evgeny Call. It's been a spirited performance, but I don't think there's any question as to who is going to be declared the victor in this contest. Evgeny Call going the distance for the first time here in Dubai 2025, but he's going through to the final four in pretty comfortable fashion. Well, I think we've just revealed the score before the announcement from our public address announcer, who is standing by to give the particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision and advancing to the semi-finals in the blue corner from Russia, Evgeny Call.
Evgeny Call remaining impassive as he is announced as the unanimous point decision victor, which sends him through to the final four, at least $75,000 better off, and now one win away from a place in the final. A terrific performance by Evgeny Call, dropping Tsar Gahramanov early in the first round. Gahramanov never stopped pressing, never stopped competing, but wasn't able to find the consistency of accuracy to try and turn this one around. It's Evgeny Call who goes through to the semi-finals. Our next contest is between boxers from Armenia and Belarus.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter the 346 contest in the elite men's 67 kilogram welterweight quarterfinals.
Is Mr. Uktam Bazarov.
Introducing first the referee from Uzbekistan, Uktam Bazarov. Please welcome into the red corner from Armenia.
Our scoring judges hail from Serbia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Spain, Turkmenistan, and Azerbaijan.
And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Belarus, Vadzim Vauchok. Your judges at ringside are from
So
Serbia,
there is the familiar figure
Kingdom
of
Saudi
Havanis
Arabia,
Bachkov,
Spain, Turkmenistan,
33-year-old looking for a
and
return
Azerbaijan.
to the medal podium for a 5th consecutive time. In the round of 16, it was a unanimous point decision victory over Almaz Orozbekov of Kyrgyzstan to eliminate the tournament number 7 seed. It's his 3rd bout of Dubai 2025, and he seeking a return to what has become almost his own personal territory, the Final 4 of a World Championships. His opponent in the blue corner is Vadim Vauchok. Vadim Vauchok, 23 years of age, the man from Belarus. And in the round of 16, he actually progressing through on a walkover. So his 4-1 victory over Shamsher Saidov of Tajikistan, where he dealt with pressure very effectively in what was something of a firefight. The only performance of the tournament so far for Vadim Vauchok. But preparing for his 3rd, or entering his 3rd bout of Dubai 2025 is Havanis Bachkov, tough tucking up behind those high-held gloves and tightly held forearms. Here's Havanis Bachkov. He's the man in red. Bronze medalist at light welterweight in 4 consecutive editions of the World Championships in 2017 Hamburg, 2019 Yekaterinburg, 2021 Belgrade, and 2023 2 years ago in Tashkent. I was present to commentate on all of those runs to the medal rostrum, and he really is one of the best IBA boxers of his generation. Both men working effectively on the inside. The boxer wearing blue, Vadim Vauchok, a 2024 European Under-23 bronze medalist from the edition in Sofia in Bulgaria. Both men have dipped their toe into the pro ranks. But here the focus is on the 3-round format and the considerable riches that can come in what used to be known as amateur boxing nowadays. Each of these men has already earned themselves at least $10,000, but the winner from this will guarantee at least $75,000. That is what the bronze medalist will take home from this $8.23 million prize pool that's on offer. Good work to the body from Bachkov, but it's reciprocated by Vauchok, and he's bringing right hands over the top as well. So Vauchok keeping his composure, getting that left hand up repeatedly into defensive position to fend off the incoming right hand. But this is where Bachkov has made his living as an elite IBA style boxer, up close and personal with his opponent, those shots landing around the hip. But remember, just stepping up to welterweight for the first time, with all his successes previously having come down at light welter. Good left hook to the body from Vauchok, looking to reciprocate his Bachkov, and snaking punches between the defenses from Vauchok. And Vauchok doing a good job, as that was a low blow as he attempted the body shot with the left hand. Bachkov. So I'm not even sure he's been drawn into this, Vauchok. I think he's electing to stand and operate in the pocket, despite being a taller man, and then look at those punches to just cause Bachkov to back up. Accurate hands getting in between the defenses of the 4-time World Championship bronze medalist to score effectively just before the bell. So standing in the pocket and really having success with punches underneath and straight punches once it got back to something other than short range was Vauchok. And he's probably done enough to take that opening round, because he kept his cool under fire and was able to find gaps in Bachkov's defense such as that. And then towards the end of the round, he found room for his straight punches as well.
seconds out.
So it's not a clean sweep, it's a 4-1 edge in the first round for
Round
Vauchok.
2.
Judge number 2 preferring the work of Bachkov. So the second round underway. Nice defense with the gloves from Vauchok once again, and because of IBA, or courtesy of IBA live scoring, the coaches, they'll be aware of the state of play, and they would have relayed that to their boxer. So what can Bachkov do differently, having conceded the opening round on a 4-1 split? Again, trying to get on the inside, but did you see that right uppercut just a few moments ago from Vauchok? And Vauchok not conceding ground, standing his ground, and then feeding his man straight punches and then hooks to both head and body. Very good performance, looking to spin off the line rather than retreat in a straight line. So Bachkov walking into the front door, changing angle in front of his man and looking to put more leverage on his punches now, getting between the gloves with the right hand to the head. So Bachkov, both men spoken to about their responsibility to keep their head up, but you see, both of them are keen to work on the inside as Bachkov just beginning to engage a higher gear here now. Can Vauchok stay with him and go with him? What he did such a good job of in round number 1. Oh, wonderful right hand behind the left jab from Vauchok, keeping the movement going, meaning that Bachkov has got to try and close the distance. Remember, coming up from light welterweight as he lands a right hand over the top and then right hand to the body, which brought about a bit of a response. But Vauchok now keen to turn the tables, but coming up from light welterweight, he's going to be the natural smaller boxer in many instances against taller, longer boxers who are career-long welterweights. Good left hook to the body and then a ramrod right from Vauchok, but Bachkov grinding his way back into the pocket. Looking to bob and weave beneath the punches and then unload his own artillery in this. A typical burst from Bachkov. And Vauchok, having done so well in the first round, the test is, can he maintain it? Looking to do exactly that, but he's doubled over by punches just above his belt line once again. Spins out of the corner smartly, but moving with him with a step to the right is Bachkov, and Bachkov having a much better second round. But how about that for a competitive response from Vauchok? Straight punches on the sound of the 10-second clapper just to ensure that he got his get back. Terrific boxing in the course of that second round, because Bachkov began to grind his way back into contention and got on the inside more frequently, putting more pop on his punches. And I think that's been enough to turn things in his favor. But remember, he was not outpointed unanimously. It was a 4-1 split in the first round. Has the better work from Bachkov in the second been enough for him to take it unanimously to make things interesting going into the third? And listen to the support that the Armenian icon is receiving. And he's done exactly that. It's a clean sweep of the cards, meaning that we have 4 cards that are deadlocked at 19 points apiece with 3 minutes of boxing remaining.
Your third and final round.
So into the third round we go, and Hrvanis Bachkov has tilted the momentum in his favor in this his third bout of Dubai 2025 by progressing through to the quarterfinals on a walkover. Vauchok a little fresher, didn't have to exert any energy in the round of 16. Bachkov did en route to a comfortable victory over Odolbek of Kyrgyzstan, but he's warming to his task now. But then look at those 2 shots, right hook to the body, left hook to the head from Vauchok, right hand over the top from Bachkov. who took the second round unanimously to give us 4 level scores of 19 points apiece. And he's keeping the punch output high as Vauchok. Right hand sends him tottering to his right in a direction which he was moving anyway. Again, look at the way he's seeking to roll beneath the punches, Bachkov, and get busy to the body. But Vauchok trying to tuck up tightly and keep his hand going to keep Bachkov occupied. Bit of a takedown move from the Tokyo Olympic bronze medalist. So on the resumption, bit of a forearm landed by Bachkov. And listen to the encouragement that both of these boxers are receiving. And bad body language coming from Vauchok while he was tapping his protective cup, gesturing to the referee. A shot came crashing over the top. And now Bachkov getting into his flow, bobbing and weaving beneath the punches and seeking to get on the inside. So Bachkov just trying to open up the hands. Vauchok moving his hands with him. Good left hook to the body from Bachkov. Vauchok trying to respond, but he's being outworked through this portion of the round. The Belarusian boxer has got to respond and pick it up here. Can he do that in the face of such unrelenting, irrepressible pressure? Left hook from Bachkov causes Vauchok to back up. And another left hand to the body visibly doubles over the man in blue. He's on the ropes and under sustained pressure. Gamely, he manages to turn the tables and then just initiating a clinch to gain some respite. During that breather, taking in instructions from the corner. Will he be able to implement them in a bid to keep off this rampaging man in red? Bachkov, just as he did in the previous round, really looking to step on the gas in the closing stages of the third. He's pushed back towards the ropes, bobbing and weaving, keeping his wits about him. Mauling him is Vauchok, preventing him from working away. 10-second clapper imminent. And who will be able to produce a moment of quality? The finish line's in sight. Both men are going to make it through to the final bell. Vauchok seeking to measure his man with the backhand. A terrific round of boxing. Well, Vauchok thinks that he's done enough, but I'm not sure I share that perspective. But crucially, remember, he has got one score in his favor. Because judge number one, he's got 1-4 score against him because the second round was unanimous in favor of the man in red, and I think the third round was pretty similar because there was a real patch in the middle of the round where Bachkov was able to grind his way forwards and let punches go in bunches once again, particularly when there was bad body language from Vauchok, who tapped his protective cup as if to say to the ref, help me out, I've been hit with a low blow. A crashing shot came over the top in the midst of a good run for Bachkov. I think the man in red's going through.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the red corner, representing Armenia, Havanes Bachkov.
Well, as soon as we heard the word unanimous, we knew it was Havanes Bachkov because he led for judge number 2. He's taken the final round unanimously as well. And for the 5th World Championship tournament in succession, Havanes Bachkov has made it through to the medal stages. An absolutely remarkable run continues here in Dubai 2025. The man who has been ever present on the medal rostrum since the 2017 edition in Hamburg has stepped up a weight to welter from light welter, where he enjoyed his previous medal successes, and here he is again in the new higher weight class, and it's another return to the final 4 stages. He's $75,000 US better off at least, and he will have his designs on making it through to the final. A very good performance indeed from Havanes Bachkov, a creditable effort from Vadzim Vauchok, who took the first round 4-1, but just continuing to apply unrelenting pressure and accurate punch picking was Havanes Bachkov, and he goes through to the final 4, and he'll have designs on making it through to the World Championship final.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we enter
our next contest is
347
in the 75 kilogram middleweight division between boxers from Scotland and Russia.
Introducing firstly your referee from Moldova, Valery Pastuhov. Introducing into the red corner, representing Scotland, Alan Perry.
Our 5 scoring judges hail from Kazakhstan, Zimbabwe, Kyrgyzstan, Serbia, and Algeria.
And his opponent in the blue corner, representing Russia, Ismail Mutsolgov. Your judges from Kazakhstan, Zimbabwe, Kyrgyzstan, Serbia, and Algeria.
So there is Alan Perry of Scotland. Actually progressed through to this stage after a walkover victory in the round of 16. A 5-0 win in the round of 32 against Kendu Stephen of Papua New Guinea is how he progressed through to the round of 16, where he enjoyed that bye, but he actually started his tournament in the round of 64, where he engaged in a torrid 2-way affair against Avelino Lizito of Angola. Took an 8 count in the first round, did the 20-year-old, but weathered it well and boxed his way to a 4-1 split decision win. Ismail Mutsolgov beat David Stieper of Germany with a sharp southpaw display on a unanimous point decision verdict here in Ring B at the round of 16 stage. The German boxer suffering a leg injury which impaired his ability to compete in that final round.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. And this is action between boxers from Scotland and Russia. The man wearing red is Scotland's Alan Perry, 20 years of age, part of a 4-man Scottish boxing team. The reigning Scottish National Elite Golden Gloves champion at 75 kilograms from Doghouse Boxing Club, and gaining increasing experience across this year on the international stage, having boxed at the European Under-23 Championships, where he was a quarter-finalist in Budapest, and competed in the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool, winning 2 contests out of 3 to make it through to the quarter-finals there as well. That's exactly what he's done here at the IBA World Boxing Championships. And the man who has just scored with a cracking southpaw left is the tournament number 2 seed, Ismail Mutsolgov, part of a 13-strong Russian boxing team in his 3rd contest of the tournament. Unanimous decision victories in the round of 32 and the round of 16. And there's no doubt as to who the crowd favorite is. That's a good southpaw left whipped into the body by Mutsolgov. Exchange of shots upstairs. Both men shaping up nicely in this contest between orthodox and southpaw, but Mutsolgov is demonstrating good use of the feet to close the gap. Perry scored with a shot, but then was cuffed by a check right hook as Mutsolgov was able to spin off the line counterclockwise. Hard left hand driven into the body once again by Mutsolgov, and then a peppering right jab whipped up from the belt line. Counter left hook not too far away from Perry. Stepping in behind a left-right combination, but couldn't quite find the range, but kept the attack going. Making it a 2-phase attack to end with the left hand, but then he's run onto a couple of punches from Mutsolgov. Cracking left cross landed by Mutsolgov. Operating behind that low-held hand style, stepping in and landing a long, strong, lancing left cross to the body. Perry taking it well, but he's scoring effectively downstairs is Mutsolgov. Nice head movement from Perry. There's another thrusting straight shot downstairs, this time from the lead southpaw right jab, followed by a left hand dug underneath. Putting plenty of store in body shots early is Mutsolgov. But Perry seeking to continue to implement the tactical game plan of his coach Mike Keane. But Mutsolgov just giving the impression that he's controlling the distance at which this one is fought. Disengaging beyond punching range when he chooses to, and using those twinkle-toed movements to close the gap and launch raiding attacks. And I think those tactics will be enough to see the man in blue take the opening round. There's Mike Keane giving the instructions to his boxer. Some of the action from the opening round where Mutsolgov scored with good consistency to the body. Perry was certainly in the round. I just don't think he's done enough to win the round. So the scorecards revealing a clean sweep and unanimous verdict in favor of Mutsolgov. 10-9 for all 5 scoring judges.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So moving to the second round. Alan Perry of Scotland, the only man from his 4-man team to make it through to this stage. Oh, there's a wonderful left cross landed by Mutsolgov, which just drove Perry's head backwards. He's keeping his composure and his shape nicely, going in search of his own backhand, but Mutsolgov pivoting very effectively in the pocket and on the edge of range. Darting right jab, flicked in once again by Mutsolgov. Two-shot combination of just peppering shots from out of the line of vision. As Perry looking for the right hand, it was inaccurate, but he was defensively responsible with the left, effectively answering the telephone, getting his hand up towards his ear to fend off the incoming fire. Good two-shot salvo to the body from Perry, just causing Mutsolgov to adjust his trunks, but then Mutsolgov coming back with body shot success of his own. Looking to counter with the left jab is Perry after he made his man fall short. Oh, wonderful left jab from Perry, catching Mutsolgov. Mutsolgov trying to fire a left cross. Well, both men spoken to about the infringements after Mutsolgov just handed Perry a little love tap after that awkward entanglement near the ropes. Left cross to the body is a scoring shot once again from Mutsolgov. And this one he turns it into a hook and lands on the rib cage. Same shot once again, a driven left cross just above the belt line as he seeks to continue to break the man down to the body. Can often be a long-term investment, that. Another left hand to the body, and Perry's hands coming down slightly, and now he's reducing his height. And another bolo shot doubles him over and practically lifts him off his feet. And now with the hands down, the jaw could well present an open target, but this has been a very good display from Mutsolgov. Patience personified as he whips in another shot which just was above the belt line. Perry has been touched up often to his torso as another left hand is driven in bolo style from Mutsolgov as he seeks to continue to bring the hand down, and that one caused the Scottish boxer to wilt, and he's complaining that the shots are low, and that response, that reaction will encourage Mutsolgov to continue to target those areas. So Mutsolgov, you can see what type of fluid, relaxed boxer he is. Got to keep his emotions in check here now and not seek to play to the crowd, because there's a large pocket of Russian supporters. Another left hand slams into the abdomen from Mutsolgov. A very good round of boxing where he targeted the body beautifully, particularly in the final third of the round. Consistent, accurate work downstairs, and they were having an increasingly pronounced effect. Again, Perry had his moments in the round. There's the love tap from Mutsolgov, but it was punches such as that. Real variety on his body punching, bolo punches, hooks, straight left crosses, all driven in with purpose and precision. And I think those are enough to give Mutsolgov the second round. So second round completed, a clean sweep of the cards, including 2 10-8 verdicts for judges 2 and 4.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So we move into the third and final round, and Alan Perry, who is competing commendably here, takes a good left cross from Mutsolgov, the tournament number 6 seed. But Mutsolgov has taken both of the first two rounds unanimously, and that shot he attempted there and that one which he just landed, the backhands to the body have been really effective for Mutsolgov. Perry has continued to keep his shape, keep his composure. He's had occasional success during the course of this contest, particularly with his straight punching upstairs. But the man who has done the more consistent work is Mutsolgov. Wonderful right jab, snaps Perry's head back. He takes another left cross to the body. And again, this is invaluable experience being accrued at a rapid clip, because just look at what the reigning Scottish champion has done during the course of 2025. Quarter-finalist at the European Under-23 Championships for boxers among his own generation. Then at the World Championships in Liverpool, he's a quarter-finalist there. He takes another left hand to the body. And here at the IBA Championships, and the left cross has caused his ankles to rock, and he takes a standing count. But again, this is really clever strategy being executed by Mutsolgov, because he's continued to target the man's body, the bid to bring the hands down. And again, we said that the body punches are having an increasingly pronounced effect, and will Mutsolgov in the second half of the round seek to get his man out of there, because it was a shot which visibly wobbled Perry down to his ankles, and those types of shots can take or shots that produce that effect can take a while to recover from. So has the coordination of the man in red fully returned after taking that 8 count? Gamely, he comes back forward and shoots out a left jab, right cross combination very effectively. Then again, blocks the incoming left hand with his right glove and forearm. Good left hand to the body beneath the right elbow once again from Mutsolgov, as he seeks to continue to lower those hands, force Perry into adopting the half-cover guard, the cross-arm guard, which would leave the chin open. Good dexterity on the backhand from Mutsolgov, who is boxing in a flow state here. Very relaxed as the left cross gets through. I suggested he may have to keep his emotions in check and not play to the crowd. But he has produced a very efficient display indeed. On the 10-second clapper, Alan Perry pressing forwards in search of the finishing shot. It was a bell from Ring A, which brought just a little bit of a premature conclusion, but wonderful to see that respect between the boxers and the opposing coaches, and indeed between the boxers themselves. But Mike Keane must be absolutely delighted with Alan Perry, because to come to the World Championships, begin the tournament in the round of 64 and make it all the way through to the quarterfinals is a magnificent performance indeed. 4 bouts scheduled, contesting 3 of them, winning 2 of them, and prevailing in the round of 16 on a walkover. And he's boosted his bank balance by $10,000 by making it through to the quarterfinal stage. Let's get the official particulars, which should see the man in blue announced as a unanimous point decision victor here.
Ladies and gentlemen, over on Ring B, your winner by unanimous decision and advancing to the semi-finals. In the blue corner, representing Russia, Ismail Mutsolgov.
So Ismail Mutsolgov of Russia through to the final 4 and the medal stages of the 75 kilogram middleweight division. Alan Perry eliminated at the quarterfinal stage, but what invaluable experience he has hard earned here over the course of his tournament in Dubai, starting in the round of 64 and acquitting himself very well indeed to make it all the way through to the quarters. So he goes out of the tournament at the Elite 8 stage, whereas going on to the final 4 and maybe beyond is Ismail Mutsolgov. Our next contest is between boxers from Mali and Spain.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, we enter the 348th contest in the elite men's 75 kilogram middleweight division. Introducing firstly into the ring your referee from Kazakhstan, Arman Burkitbayev. Please welcome into the red corner representing Mali, Traore Jibril.
So, Mr.
And his opponent in the blue corner representing Spain, Sergio Martinez.
Our scoring judges are from Iraq, Zimbabwe, Uzbekistan, Croatia,
from Iraq,
and Kyrgyzstan.
Zimbabwe, Uzbekistan, Croatia, and Kyrgyzstan.
There is 21-year-old Jibril Traore, who has been one of the most exciting boxers in this tournament. Began his bracket in the 75 kilogram middleweight division in the round of 64, the 21-year-old. His opponent, 23-year-old Sergio Martinez. He had a bye in the round of 64, scored a devastating second round knockout in the round of 32 over the man from Portugal. And then in the round of 16, a narrow 4-3 victory over Shodiyorjon Shakurov of Tajikistan. The boxer from Tajikistan bringing leg strapping into the ring on his injured left leg from his previous contest. The doctor removed that. Martinez lost round 1, 2-3, won round 2, 5-0, lost round 3, 1-4, but the observer and evaluator favored his boxing and he prevailed to come through on a 4-3 split to this quarter-final stage. So what a contest we have in store here between Jibril Traore, the 2024 African Championship bronze medalist at middleweight, against Sergio Martinez. And Jibril Traore beginning in the manner that is so typical of him, coming forward, looking to swarm his opponent, working both body and head effectively. And in this tournament so far, Jibril Traore, in 2 contests, has lost the first 2 rounds. That's what happened in the round of 64, and then in an absolute firefight at the round of 16 against Mohamed Usaith of Sri Lanka. Lost the first 2 rounds against Vinny Mandare in the round of 64 and Mohamed Usaith in the round of 16, but yet his pressure irresistible. He was backed up by Usaith in the first round, but it took such a toll on Usaith's energy levels. There's a mouthpiece dislodged during those trade-offs in the middle of the ring, but it took such a toll on Usaith's energy levels that he was practically forced to stand and fight thereafter in rounds 2 and 3. So Traore has demonstrated the ability to come on strong throughout the entirety of the 3 3-minute rounds. And the question is, when he boxes in that manner, can the opponent do the same? Because he's proven in that regard. Left hook to the body. I'm not saying he likes conceding rounds, but he exacts such a toll on his opponents, from his opponents, if he does concede a round, that invariably he's in the better shape to come on strong. And Martinez launching heavy shots from both hands, trying to target the compact figure of Traore. Both men swinging for the fences with heavy singles, with their feet rooted into the canvas in the middle of the ring. Left hook upstairs, not too far away from Traore. Good work downstairs from Traore. As Martinez lands a good right hand to the body and then a right hand left hook on the command of stop. So each mouthpiece has been dislodged, or excuse me, this mouthpiece has been dislodged twice now. So let's keep a close eye on the ref. So that's come out twice. If it comes out again, we could well have a point deduction. Good left hook to the body during that exchange from Martinez, but then he's clipped by a right hand upstairs, and another one from Traore, who is tucking up tightly, exacerbating the difference in height between the two, changing angles in front of his man, spinning around him, trying to find an avenue for his punches. But Martinez standing firm and refusing to concede ground. Change of angles once again from Traore, looking to snake shots in between. Heavy shots being slung in above the belt line from Martinez. And there's a right uppercut underneath. And again, I wonder, as a left hook catches Martinez, he's got to be careful that that mouthpiece doesn't come out. Torrid exchanges in the middle of the boxing ring, both men blasting away to the body. What a round of boxing, and Martinez saying, yeah, how you feeling? Because his work may have been enough to take that opening round. But again, this is the position that Traore has found himself in on occasions before. So absolutely spirited performance, particularly by Martinez, who stood with Traore and was able to dig away with punches like that down to the body. Well, it's Traore who has edged it on a 3-2 split. Absolutely nothing between them for my money. Had it gone the other way, I don't think there would have been too many complaints.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So as the bell sounds to begin round number 2, it looks as though the same battle is going to resume, but look at the increased intensity with which Traore has come out. Looking to change angles in front of his man, but Martinez going with him, finding himself near the ropes, but no panic as he's continuing to target the body with real accuracy and power. Head being worked now by Traore. Traore just being forced backwards. That's what Ustaith was able to do in the first round. And if you can make a come-forward pressure boxer engage reverse gear, it can turn him into an entirely different type of opponent. But Traore got back on the front foot in that contest, and despite being driven momentarily backwards, he's standing his ground here, or seeking to stand his ground. But the taller man, Martinez, pushing him back as he continues to land heavy shots downstairs. There he takes a clipping right hand upstairs, and he's doing an outstanding job keeping the punch output high against the proven in fighter, in boxer in terms of Traore, willingly conceding his height and reach to stand forehead to forehead with Traore and dig away downstairs. Punches coming wide and Traore tucking up tightly to ensure that they are rendered inaccurate. Traore trying to put a burst of punches together upstairs. Remember, the first round edged on a 3-2 split in favor of Traore. He ducked down smartly and launched an overhand right, but then cuffing hooks from both flanks coming in from Martinez. And Martinez planting his feet into the canvas and digging away as though he's working the body bag. Very little movement, but just planting those feet and pounding away for the full 3 minutes. And that will certainly test your cardio if you've not done it before. Just stand there and let the hands go with gloves on and see how the heart rate goes through the roof and the lungs begin burning. And of course, the bag doesn't hit back. Here he's got Traore in front of him, has Martinez, seeking to do exactly the same thing. And he is proven in that regard. But this is wonderful work by Martinez. What a pace he is maintaining against the proven come-forward operator. Looking to weave underneath the punches now is Traore, and he's just forced to take a breath. You see him taking another lungful of oxygen because he, for the first time, well, not for the first time in his tournament, is being matched for more than a round in terms of the infighting stakes. Inside fighting, an art in itself, of course. And they looked as though they have prepared Martinez magnificently for this task. And Traore looking to get on the front foot and employ straight punches, which is something we haven't seen in the tournament so far. Remember, the first round was a 3-2 split in favor of Traore. The second round was very similar for my money, very little in it. Incredibly high punch output from both boxers. Maybe a little more variety from Traore, but Martinez with him blow for blow, each man in the pocket exclusively until the closing stages when we did see some straight punching from both, particularly Traore, as he just conceded ground before the bell. Wonderful skill in evidence. And a non-stop punching display from both boxers over the course of 6 minutes.
Seconds out.
Well, interesting return of scorecards. A 4-1 split in favor of Traore. That perhaps a little harsh on Martinez, but because of the distribution of scores, it has all come down to the final 3 minutes, because for judges 1, 4, and 5, it is deadlocked. 19 points apiece. So having seen that his infighting hasn't been rewarded by the judges, he conceded the first round 3-2, he conceded the second round 4-1 did Martinez. For a moment he got on his bike and was looking to use straight punches. It's all come down to the final 3 minutes. Good right hand to the body. Can he show some variety? And that's exactly what he's looking to bring into his work here. Cracking right hand over the top from Traore, looking for the same shot once again. Martinez clips him with a left hook. Both men flat-footed, rooted to the canvas seemingly. And I suggested that different tactics may be implemented by Martinez, but it's reverted to the type of contest that we had for 6 minutes over the course of rounds 1 and 2. Oh, hard right hand over the top from Traore. Body shots being dug in by Martinez, and that sequence occurred twice, almost synchronized. Traore trying to quicken those feet and give his man angles once again. Bobbing and weaving in the pocket. Hard right hand to the jaw from Traore. Clipping left hook landed from Traore, and he's looking to just pick up his punch output now and catching the open jaw of Martinez, and that completely disrupts Martinez's boxing stance. He's gamely battling through, throwing punches off one leg, but there was the tactic paying dividends. Worked the man's body, but truth be told, Martinez was continuing to work the body himself, but that left his chin open, and Traore was able to find it with unanswered punches that brought about an 8 count. And that has given Traore some inspiration and energy here, because Martinez, his gas tank running low, and despite him continuing to work away, his open jaw, he's being tagged repeatedly by these arcing punches of Traore, and the punches are having an increasingly pronounced effect. There's nothing wrong with Martinez's will, but I think his energy levels are dipping. The referee keeping a close eye on the proceedings, because the shots are shaking Martinez down to his boots now. And as ever, in the final portion of the round, Traore picking up the pace. And oh, you're going to have to feel for Martinez, because this mouthpiece has come out for the 3rd time, and I don't doubt that we're going to see a point deduction here. And there it is. So there's no way he can win the contest. Well, he can, of course, because he can take him out with a single shot, but he's got a point deduction to be considered on the scorecards as well. I know scorecards aren't going to reflect how hard fought this one has been, because Martinez has stood toe-to-toe with the 2024 African Championship bronze medalist, has his chin checked once again, continuing to will his way forwards, the left eye closing rapidly, and he has punched himself almost to a standstill. What a terrific contest. Almost exclusive infighting. Sergio Martinez playing his part in what was an absolutely torrid two-way affair. But it's Djibril Traoré who will go through to the medal stages of the middleweight division here. But Martinez giving absolutely everything. Perhaps a little unfortunate on the scores, because the first one he was edged out 3-2. It could have been 3-2 the other way. The second round it was scored 4-1 against him, when that was perhaps a little harsh. 3-2 would have perhaps been more appropriate. That gave us 3 scores of 19 points apiece going into the final round. And then Traoré took over, just as he's done in 2 of his 3 contests prior to this quarterfinal, and it will be the man in red going through to the medal stages.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision and advance into the semi-finals. In the red corner from Mali, Traoré Djibril.
So Djibril Traoré pounding his chest in celebration because he has progressed through to the final 4. The man from Mali has earned himself at least World Championship bronze, and his irresistible pressure paying dividends once again. Sergio Martinez deserves immense credit because he went toe-to-toe with the proven front foot aggressor and hung with him for 6 minutes of boxing before being outworked and in danger of being overwhelmed in the final round. He was then docked a point as the mouthpiece was dislodged for a 3rd time. So the scorecards wide in favor of the man from Mali, but that perhaps not a reflection of what took place. Make no mistake, Djibril Traoré a clear and dominant winner in the end, and we'll see him again at the final 4 stage. What a contest.
Ladies and gentlemen, on
our next
ring
contest
B, we now
is in the
enter
86
the
kilogram
349th contest
cruiserweight division
in an
between
elite
boxers
men's
from Armenia
86 kilogram
and
cruiserweight
Ecuador.
quarterfinal. Your referee in the ring from Algeria, Besmi Mohammed. Please welcome into the red corner from Armenia, Rafael
So Mr. Besmi Mohammed
Harutyunyan.
of Algeria is our referee.
And his opponent in the
Five-scoring
blue
judges
corner
hail from
representing
Turkmenistan,
Ecuador,
Uzbekistan, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Cuba,
Javier
and
Delgado
Bosnia-Herzegovina.
Suarez. Your judges ringside are from Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Cuba, and Bosnia and Herzegovina.
So there is Rafael Hovhannisyan, the 2022 world champion, the 2022 European Championship gold medalist at the event that was in his homeland in Yerevan, the continental event that year. At the last edition of the World Championships, he made it through to this stage in the cruiserweight division. He's looking to go at least one better here. And in the round of 16, he was a unanimous point decision victor over Yan Zak of Israel. Yan Zak suffering a cut left eye in the opening round. The man in the blue corner is Marlo Delgado, the 2-time Olympian. He, in his 3rd contest of Dubai 2025, was in a high-tempo affair to beat Guillermo Yebi of Cameroon at
Round
the round
one
of 16. So this is 86 kilogram cruiserweight action between boxers from Armenia and Ecuador. The man wearing red is the 2022 continental champion at 82 kilograms through to his 2nd consecutive world championship quarterfinal, and that is Rafael Hovhannisyan of Armenia. The man wearing blue is Marlo Delgado of Ecuador, 32 years of age, one of 4 Ecuadorian boxers who competed here who are competing here at Dubai 2025. I was an Olympian in Rio and London down at 75 kilograms. Boxed in World Series boxing as well, and had an unbeaten start to his professional career, but he hadn't fought in the pro ranks since September of 2022. Good right hand landed by Delgado, and he's demonstrated that he can box at this type of pace for the entirety of the 3 minutes. 3 3-minute rounds, rather. So Hovhannisyan, forward behind the left jab and roundhouse right. Left hook inaccurate from Delgado. The left hand to the body may have strayed low. No complaint from Hovhannisyan, as both men looking to target the body now. So each man desperately trying to free their hands so that they can work away. The referee allowing them to do so. Good left right on the resumption, then a left uppercut, right hook turned around the corner. That was real quality from Hovhannisyan, finding a home for his punches on the inside. No wind up necessary. The uppercut hook combination to end that purple patch of the round was outstanding. Oh, counter right hand was a rapier-like shot from Hovhannisyan, who's getting the better of these exchanges now. Delgado coming back with a left hand to the body and clipping right hand to the jaw. Both men looking to go to work on the inside at short range. Right cross is a scoring shot from Delgado. Hovhannisyan looking for the same shot in response. Counter right hand not too far away from Delgado, and here's a cut to the right eye of the Ecuadorian boxer in blue. 20 seconds to make it back so it can get patched up by his team. Uppercut attempted by Delgado, who's desperately trying to keep that right eye out of harm's way. Both men letting their hands go in flurrying fashion, not particularly accurate. High-paced first round once again in a bout featuring Marlo Delgado of Ecuador. And that cut looks to be pretty significant to that right eye. Referee hasn't called for the inspection of the doctor, but the corner team are going to have to get to work on it. So a 3-2 split in favor of Hovhannisyan.
Seconds out.
Judges 3 and 5 preferring the work of Delgado.
Round 2.
So Rafael Hovhannisyan, the tournament number 3 seed in the 86 kilogram cruiserweight division, just edging the first round on a 3-2 split. Delgado aware of that and has come out blazing once again to begin round number 2. Oh, that's a solid right cross landed by Delgado, with Hovhannisyan inviting pressure near the ropes. Exchange of jabs as Delgado seeking to creep across the canvas, but a wonderful reverse 1-2 from Hovhannisyan. Eye-catching punch picking once again, swiveling the jaw of the man in blue. Now both men being given the opportunity to work by the referee. Heel of the glove into the face of Hovhannisyan from Delgado. Nice jab from Delgado, and doubling it up to keep the attack going, and then measuring his man with a right cross behind it. Wonderful work on the outside from Delgado behind the most fundamental combination in the sport, the old 1-2. Coming forward behind scything, arcing punches now. Here's Hovhannisyan digging away with his free right hand to the body. And again, the referee giving them the opportunity to work. Hovhannisyan, well, both men tapping away with right hand to punches that are straying into kidney punch area. Clumping left hook landed with the inside of the glove from Delgado. Solid shot landed by Hovhannisyan during that exchange. So Delgado, by trying to show the ref that he's not holding while he is actually holding, may just be looking to buy himself some time here and box in bursts. Crook of the elbow catching Hovhannisyan from Delgado. Left hook is a scoring shot from Delgado. Hovhannisyan just inaccurate before running into a left jab. So becoming increasingly untidy, this one, as the boxers making it really physical at close quarters. Right hand over the top from Delgado is a scoring shot. Jolting left jab landed from Hovhannisyan, who's bombing away with shots from both flanks. Catches his man with the right hand, and a final left hook, and that final burst from Hovhannisyan sees him thinking that he's done enough to take the second round. Remember, he was edged in the first round on a 3-2 split. Some quality produced in pockets by both boxers. So the first one was taken by Hovhannisyan on a 3-2 split. In the second round, very similar. But what say the scoring judges? There was that burst of quality at the end from Hovhannisyan that may well have tilted the round in his favor. And that is certainly what he felt after his good run of success inside the 10-second clapper. And he's been rewarded with a 4-1 split in his favor. And that makes the scorecards very interesting indeed.
Seconds
because
out.
with the first round being 3-2 in favor of Hovhannisyan, the distribution thereafter gives us 3 tied scores of 19 points apiece for judges 2, 3, and 5. So as we move into the third and final round, it has all come down to the final 3 minutes of boxing here, because we have 3 scores that are deadlocked at 19 points apiece. The other 2 observers favoring the work of the man in red, Hovhannisyan, who took the first on a 3-2 split, the second on a 4-1 split. From Delgado's perspective, all of the judges who have it level, he has got to convince them that he's the better boxer in this round, whereas Hovhannisyan only needs to convince one of the 3 who have it even. Unless, of course, Delgado produces a massive final round to overturn the 20 points to 18 deficit that he faces for 2 of the 5 scoring judges. It's a nice right uppercut from Delgado. It was countered immediately by a straight shot from Hovhannisyan. So Delgado driving his way forwards. And he's looking to push Hovhannisyan back. He's taken him from the middle of the boxing ring all the way over to the ropes. With the pressure that he's applying with his bulk and with his punching, Hovhannisyan inaccurate with the right uppercut. Delgado's left hook not too far away. That corkscrew left from Hovhannisyan was a scoring shot. So Hovhannisyan turning the tables and putting Delgado on the ropes here now. Landing with crashing overhand rights that may be straying into rabbit punch territory. Inside of the glove from Delgado catching Hovhannisyan. And Delgado, well, given that he needs to convince those 3 judges who have it level that he's the better boxer, wouldn't want to be crowding and smothering out his own work here. Has got to give himself the space to work and produce eye-catching punches. Hovhannisyan trying to do exactly that, what is an incredibly physical encounter. Both men enjoying success during the course of these trade-offs. Willing his way forwards is Delgado. Hovhannisyan initiating, and then Delgado accepting the clinch. Perhaps just a bit of a gentleman's agreement before both men launch a final volley. Each man enjoying success with the backhand. Big intake of breath from Hovhannisyan before he steps back into the breach. And then he turned his back. Cracking hooks landed by Delgado. Hovhannisyan looking for straight punch success. Terrific conclusion to the third and final round. Both men letting their hands go freely, neither man particularly accurate, but just look at how much both men gave in pursuit of victory. Tottering across the ring as the bell sounded, reminiscent of something from a Rocky movie. But this is real life here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center, and that is how much victory means for these boxers, not just for the not insignificant sum, the life-changing sum of $75,000, which is the prize that awaits the bronze medalists, but also the medal glory of making it through to the rostrum here at the World Championships. It's an incredibly hard-fought affair, but I think it's going to be the man in red going through, given the context of the scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, on Ring B, your winner by split decision and advancing to the semi-finals. In the red corner from Armenia, Rafael Hovhannisyan.
So Rafael Hovhannisyan, the tournament number 3 seed, with a battle cry upon the announcement of him being declared as a split decision victor over the two-time Olympian Marlo Delgado of Ecuador. And now acknowledging all sides of the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center is Rafael Hovhannisyan. Marlo Delgado deserves immense credit for the manner in which he competed here on the World Championship stage. He goes home $10,000 better off, having made it through to the quarterfinals. But Rafael Hovhannisyan, who's bested his effort from Tashkent 2 years ago, and will now progress through to at least a bronze medal. He was a quarter-finalist in Tashkent in 2023, and by summoning up reserves of energy, he has made it through to the medal stages, one win away from contesting World Championship gold. Terrific contest in the cruiserweight division. Is Hovhannisyan who progresses. Our next contest is between boxers from DR Congo and Belarus. Our referee is Jamilia Borkoeva of Kyrgyzstan.
Ladies
5 scoring
and
judges hail
gentlemen,
from
on Ring B,
Zimbabwe,
we now enter
Kazakhstan,
the
Iraq, China,
350th
and Spain.
contest in the elite men's 86 kilogram cruiserweight quarterfinal. Introducing firstly your referee from Kyrgyzstan, Jamilia Borkoeva. Please welcome into the red corner, representing COD, Kabeji Peter.
So there is Kabeji Peter. The 2024 All-Africa Games gold medalist, the two-time African champion in 2022 and 2023. Had a bye in the round of 32, and in the round of 16, he was involved in an amazing bout against the Spanish boxer born in Havana, Adrian Fresneda. taking it 4-3 on bout review. Lost the first round 5-0, came storming back to take the second 5-0, lost the third 3-2 in a round where both men gave absolutely everything and were extracting the best out of one another, but the observer and the evaluator preferring the boxing of Peter, and that is how he has progressed through to the quarter-final stage. So, Kabeji, Peter. Just acknowledging all sides of the arena here. Alexei Alfirov needs no introduction if you're an aficionado of IBA 3-round boxing. The tournament #2 seed, 25 years of age, World Championship silver medalist after being edged out by Robbie Gonzalez in Belgrade in Serbia in one of the best contests you could ever wish to see. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament with my colleague Andy Clark, who's over on Ring A. 2024 silver medalist at the European Championships last year. Here, Alexei Alfirov seeking a return to the World Championship stage. He beat Parviz Karimov of Tajikistan in the round of 16 with an absolutely awesome display where he targeted the body for a round and a half. The man from Tajikistan adopted the half cover guard and then he was picked off on his open chin. So we're underway here. Two decorated IBA boxers facing off for a place in the final four of the men's 86 kilogram cruiserweight division. The man wearing red, operating out of the orthodox stance, is Kabeji Peter, one of a 4-man DR Congo boxing team, the Democratic Republic of Congo, 25 years of age. And his opponent, operating out of the southpaw stance, although he is an adept switch hitter, is Alexei Alfirov. He also 25. Part of a 5-man Belarusian boxing team. Completely contrasting approaches to the craft showcased by these two boxers. Left hook not too far away from Peter, but Alfirov is incredibly relaxed. But see that left hand to the body, that's a shot that served him really well in his round of 16 win. That bolo shot right there. He continued to sling it in for about 4.5 minutes straight, and eventually Parviz Karimov, his hands came down, he adopted the cross-arm guard. He never stopped coming, Karimov. But then when the chin was open, he was able to use the same rapidity of hands. Alfirov to score upon the chin. Shot over the top from Peter. Really active start to the round and then hitting from behind, and is Peter. Alfirov doesn't take too kindly to that, but as the referee is pointing out, he shouldn't have turned his back, Alfirov. So both men will be looking to keep their emotions in check. And again, so experienced on the international stage, both of these boxers. Peter competing in his third appearance at the World Championships, having fought in 2019 and 2023, and he's been docked a point for failing to keep his head up, so that has put an entirely different complexion on proceedings now, and one wonders what change in approach it will bring from both boxers, because Alfirov and his team will know that the score, which will be tallied at the end in the event that we go to the scorecards, will be subject to -1. Right jab cracked into the face from Alfirov. Right crossed in response from Peter. But Peter docked a point for failing to keep his head up. So he knows he's got to get busy here now. And he did exactly that in the round of 16 affair, as the left hand to the body is slung in once again from Alfirov. Peter, to his credit, trying to pick up the tempo and quicken those feet. Alfirov spoken to about holding, and seeing as Peter has been docked a point for failing to keep his head up, if the communication continues in the direction of Alfirov about excessive holding, he could well find himself docked a point. Some of the action from the opening round. Both men targeting the body, but there's an example of the wonderful southpaw left that Alfirov is able to whip in on a regular basis. So a clean sweep of the cards for Alexei Alfirov.
Seconds out.
10-9 verdicts returned for all 5 scoring judges.
Round 2.
So we move into the second round, and when he conceded the opening round yesterday, Kabeji Peter produced a storming performance in round number 2 to take it unanimously. Can he summon up a similar type of effort here? Lands a right cross, but then it's Alfirov with a cluster of punches to perhaps get the better of that exchange. Check right hand landed by Alfirov. Hard charging forward foray from Peter. So keen to re-enter the fray is Peter. But he just has to be held back by the referee. Spinning out of the line, spinning out of the corner, off the line is Alfirov. Remains so composed. There's a cracking right cross landed by Peter, and it lifted up a leg from Alfirov. So he's felt the vaunted power of the reigning All Africa Games champion. Possesses a sturdy chin, but he won't want to take too many of those, Alfirov, and near his court once again, and it brings about a standing count. Terrific response from Peter. Once again. So Kabeji Peter, having conceded the first round across the board, having been doctor point for failing to keep his head up, has produced a response so typical of him and epitomizing his competitive spirit, going after Alfirov and landing repeatedly with these right hands. Alfirov possesses terrific reflexes, but the rapier-like right of Peter is catching him repeatedly. Another right hand, this time from underneath from Peter. Just causes Alfirov to lose his balance. Trying to maintain a gap now is Alfirov. But a look at that for a roundhouse right from Peter. And another solid right from mid-range landed by Peter, who is finding a home for that punch on a regular basis. Nice head movement in the pocket from Peter to make his man miss. And a cracking right cross rocks Alfirov down to his boots. He employed a headlock, gets back across the ring to give himself a little bit of breathing room, but Peter's right hand is locked in and landing repeatedly. Alfirov, what can he do to avoid this incoming right hand that is landed with such regularity for Kabeji Peter during the course of this contest? Looking for the right hand once again, going for the southpaw left was Alfirov. A terrific response once again from Kabeji Peter, giving his man an 8 count and scoring repeatedly with his vaunted backhand. Now remember, an 8 count won't necessarily result in a 10-8 round, but I think that was the punctuation point on what was a really good response from Kabeji Peter, and surely it's enough to give him the round, which is exactly how he responded in his round of 16 bout. Cracking punch picking with that backhand. And it's a 4-1 split in favor of Kabeji Peter, including a 10-8 round returned by judge number 4. So really interesting scorecards going into the third and final round. But remember, there is that point deduction to be considered after Kabeji was penalized. After Kabeji was penalized in the first for failing to keep his head up. So we move into the final round of a bout that is intriguingly poised in this 86-kilogram quarter-final. Alexei Alfirov took the first round unanimously. A point was docked from Kabeji Peter for failing to keep his head up. He fought with real urgency and indeed accuracy in the second round, giving his man a standing count with a sharp shooting overhand right. And so we have scorecards that are tied at 19 points apiece for 3 of the 5 judges. Alfirav, a little bit of a love tap from Kebejipita. Alfirav leading for 1 judge and Kebejipita leading for 1 judge. But remember, there is that point deduction that will be considered at the end. So again, the easiest way is to produce a massive final round, but it's Alfirav just seeking to push Kebejipita back towards the ropes. Continuing, oh, that's a wonderful left hook to the body, slung in by Alfirav. Both men really sinking their feet into the canvas. Now, is there a problem with Alfirav? He's been sent, or Peter's been sent to the furthest neutral corner. Knuckles bumped together by our referee because this injury has been caused by an accidental clash of heads. Now, if this injury causes the bout to be stopped, the portion of the 3rd round that has been contested will be scored. On the resumption, both men hooking hard with the left hand. Kebeji to the head, Alfirav to the body. Is there an increased sense of urgency in the work of Alfirav now as he went for a counter left hook out of the southpaw stance after Kebeji was just inaccurate with his overhand right. Heads coming together on the inside. Good right hand to the body and it doubled over Alfirav, and then he responded with a left cross which just backed up Kebejipita. Hard hitting exchanges in the space of center ring. Both men have sustained injuries during the course of this contest. Remember, 3 tied scores of 19 points apiece. Sharp shooting left cross from Alfirav, left hook counter in response from Kebejipita. An affair of high skill, this one, between boxers with completely contrasting styles. Wonderful counter left hand after making his man miss from Alexei Alfirav. Well, the cut is being inspected once again. I'm keeping a close eye on the referee, and she said it's a fist into an open palm. A fist into an open palm means that this injury has been either inflicted or an existing one exacerbated by a punch. And if this causes the contest to be stopped, it will be RSCI, referee stops contest injury in favor of Kebejipita. So Alfirav won't want that fate to befall him. Good right cross landed again from Kebejipita. Each man have landed eye-catching backhands in the final minute of this 3rd and final round. Terrific contest between 2 skillful operators. Kebejipita thinks that he's done enough, but remember, we do have to consider that a point will be deducted from the tally of the 2-time African Continental Champion Kebejipita, because he was docked a point for for failing to keep his head up in the 1st round. So, nervous moments for the boxers here now. Both men enjoyed success in that final round and each are confident that they have done enough, but there is that point deduction to consider, and I think that makes it advantage Alfirav.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner from Belarus, Alexei Alfirav.
So, Alexei Alfirav, a unanimous points decision victor over the reigning All-Africa Games gold medalist. Kebejipita playing his part in what was a terrific affair of high skill between boxers with completely different approaches to the noble arts. But the point deduction, absolutely crucial in determining the outcome of this contest. Really unfortunate that that was such a significant factor because the two men combined to produce a cracking contest where Alkhverdovi took the first on a 4-1 split. Coming storming back and giving his man a count in the second was Kabeji Peter. And then when the final scores were tallied, it is the man in blue who is going through to the medal stages. Kabeji Peter, World Championship quarter-finalist and $10,000 better off. And the two men producing a memorable affair. Our next contest is in the super heavyweight division between boxers from Kyrgyzstan and Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, we now enter our 351st contest in an elite men's 92 plus kilogram super heavyweight quarter-final. Introducing first the referee from China, Guo Zhang. Please welcome into the red corner from Kyrgyzstan,
Mr.
Sakhil.
Guangzhou of China is our third man in the ring as the referee.
And his opponent in the blue
Our
corner
judges hail from
representing
Algeria,
Russia,
Turkmenistan, Serbia, Croatia,
Silva.
and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Your judges from Algeria, Turkmenistan, Serbia, Croatia, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
So there is Kyrgyzstan's Mirzakir Koshaliev, just 18 years of age. The reigning Asian under-22 gold medalist from the events held in Colombo in Sri Lanka earlier this year. He beat George Holler to progress through to the quarterfinals. His opponent is barely out of his teens over in the blue corner, and that is David Syurov. In the round of 16, he beat the man from French Polynesia, Harutyunyan on a unanimous decision verdict.
Round one.
So we're underway then. This is action in the 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight division between boxers from Kyrgyzstan and Russia. The boxer wearing red is the immensely talented Mirzakir Koshaliev. Just 18 years of age, and not only did he win the Continental Under-22 event in Colombo, Sri Lanka earlier this summer, he was named the best male boxer. When I first saw when he boxed his way through to the quarterfinals of the World Youth Championships in Budva, Montenegro last year. I was ringside to commentate on that tournament. He's just taken a cracking right cross from the man in blue, and that is David Syurov. He's just 20 years of age and has proven himself to be a very capable boxer during the course of this tournament. In the round of 32, he was a man who progressed via walkover over Dmitry Milicic of Montenegro before that unanimous points decision win over French Polynesia's Harutyunyan at the round of 16. So contrasting approaches by these two. Syurov, very organized boxer, just touching his man repeatedly to the body. And the question is, can Koshaliev do anything to pick up his foot speed, because maintaining a gap very effectively and just piling up points to the body. Here's Syurov, and he's being encouraged by a vocal crowd here at the Dubai Duty-Free Tennis Center. So Syurov keeping the movement going. And Koshaliev picked off without reply by that long slapping left. There's another touching jab to the body. And he's used that shot repeatedly, feinting in and out with the feet. And you can see the rapidity of Koshaliev's hands. But he's being touched up pretty consistently by Syurov, who is controlling the distance. And I'm wondering whether that previous combination, which just saw Koshaliev standing off, has shaken up the man in red, because he's seeking to play counter-puncher now. He gets up on his toes. But the man controlling the tempo and the terms, indeed the territory which his contest is being boxed, is Syurov, and he's continually in and out with the feet. And look at that. How many jabs without reply to the body. And I think that is going to be a clear round for Syurov. Some of the action from that opening round. So it's a clean sweep of the cards for Syurov. All 5 judges saying 10-9 verdicts.
Round 2.
So moving to the second round, seeking to quicken his feet and get onto the front foot now. Here's the man from Kyrgyzstan. But Syurov demonstrated very good boxing and moving with that shot right there, principle in his repertoire, just thrusting out a scoring left jab to the body. Koshaliev really hasn't been able to find his range with any consistency, because Syurov has done an outstanding job keeping the movement going. Trying to get closer to let his quick clusters go is the man in red. So he's doing a very good job maintaining the gap. And again, look at that double jab in double quick time to the body from Syurov. Looking for the overhand right to catch the advancing Syurov, but look at that, bringing the backhand into play now. And his movement is the key factor in this effective strategy so far from the man in blue, because he's scoring freely from both flanks to both body and head. Everything is straight. There was an exchange of jabs, but for the most part, Koshaliev not able to get himself into contention here. Big swing and a miss with the left hook. And this can be an incredibly frustrating experience when in with a boxer who possesses greater dexterity, greater speed of foot, because the hands of Koshaliev are rapid indeed, but he simply can't close the gap against Syurov to let them go and hope to land. Can he cut off the ring? Can he seek to impose his physicality and get close and maybe lean on the man in blue a little bit to seek to drain his gas tank, work away here now and show the hand speed that has become such a hallmark of his boxing. Can Syurov keep the movement going? But again, when a boxer is in a flow state, fatigue tends not to be a factor, but this is where surely Koshaliev has got to get to make it physical and try and drain the energy levels of the man in blue, because he's pecking and poking his way to a points victory right now through 2 completed rounds. So both corners working overtime in a bid to keep their boxers' core temperatures down. That'll be soaked in ice water, those tiles, and just producing a cooling shower. Pretty temperate conditions here at Dubai this time of night. It's approaching 8:30 p.m. local time as we see some of the action from the second round. So 2 rounds completed, both of them scored unanimously in favor of Syurov.
Your third and final round.
So as we move into the third and final round, it has been one-way traffic so far, because the man in blue, David Syurov of Russia, has kept the movement going, and his teenaged opponent, Mirzakir Koshaliev, hasn't been able to close the gap. Well, it's been a case of rinse and repeat in terms of the strategy being implemented by the Russian team. It's not broke, so they are not looking to fix it. Look at that, how quickly those straight punches are going in. And Koshaliev simply can't get anything away, and now he's being touched up with clusters of punches underneath and around the corner. Well, the question as to whether the movement of Syurov was going to be diminished, I think is being answered here, because he simply has always kept a gap between himself and his opponent, and he's been active enough with his hands so that this can't be construed as running. Single left hook was easily defended by Syurov, and now turning punches around the rear of the guard and up the middle as well with the uppercut. Very good display this, hitting without being hit. The art of boxing epitomized through 2.5 rounds by David Syurov. And again, he's trying his utmost, and he is getting a little closer here now. Remember, we are in the super heavyweight division, so this weight class more than any other can see a contest completely turned on its head, courtesy of a single sweetly timed shot. But with less than a minute remaining, I think that's the realm that Koshaliev finds himself in here now. Oh, that's a wonderful right hand catching Koshaliev as he was looking to load up with a left hook. Syurov's accuracy has been on point right from the opening bell. Well, there's a hard charge forwards by Koshaliev to conclude the round. Well, he gave his absolute best. He never stopped trying, Koshaliev, but he simply could not get Syurov to stand still. Couldn't get close enough to cut him off, couldn't pin him in the corners. But an invaluable experience earned by Koshaliev. Just 18 years of age, remember, competing in a senior world championships. And how much better is he going to be in 4 years, or 2 years' time, excuse me, for the next edition of this biennial extravaganza. Well, let's get the conclusion then of this contest with the announcement. Surely it's Syurov on a unanimous decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring 3, your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, representing Russia, David Surov.
So the effort of Koshaliev rewarded by one of the judges in the final round. But Surov controlling things very effectively indeed, using his feet and his accurate placement with his straight punches in particular. In the final round, he began to bring hooks around the corner and uppercuts through the middle into play. And it's David Surov who goes through to the semi-final stage in the super heavyweight division. Koshaliev, what a year he is having picked up Continental Under-22 gold in July. Here in his first World Championships at just 18 years of age. He's $10,000 better off than a World Championship quarter-finalist. So our final bout of this 13th session of boxing is between boxers from Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final bout on ring B is your 352nd contest in the elite men's 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight quarterfinals. Introducing first the referee from Cuba, Wilfredo Vasquez Calero.
There's Igor Makonsev,
Please welcome into
former
the
IBA
red corner
world
from
champion.
Turkmenistan,
Victory over
Here's
Alexander
Slamov.
Usyk in the vest and head guard of his era. That was the man in the middle in the spectacles. Wonderful to see him in attendance here at the IBA World Boxing Championships.
And his opponent from Azerbaijan, Mohamed Abdullayev.
Is Mr.
Your
Alfredo
judges at
Vasquez
ringside
of Cuba.
from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Spain.
Our judges hail from Bosnia-Herzegovina, Croatia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Spain for bout number 352, the final bout of this 13th session of boxing. So there is Davlet Islamov, 23 years of age, the man from Turkmenistan. The round of 16 got his man out of there inside the opening round. RSC round 1 over Mark Sabbath Zikama of Uganda, giving his man an 8 count, flooring him, and then on the following flurry the referee stepped in to call things off right here in ring B. As for Mohamed Abdullayev, he was a unanimous point decision victor over Mwengo Amugu of Cameroon, the 2023 African champion, where he controlled matters using his footwork and his punch placement.
Round 1.
So we're underway then. Action in the 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight division between boxers from Turkmenistan and Azerbaijan. The boxer wearing red is Davlet Islamov, part of a 3-strong Turkmenistan boxing team. Competed in the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool earlier this year. And here in the round of 32, he was in a rough, bruising brawl to win over the man from Mongolia. And in the round of 16, with that opposite type of victory, a first round stoppage over his opponent from Uganda. The boxer wearing blue is Mohamed Abdullayev, second bout of the tournament for the man who has been installed as the number 2 seed, receiving a bye in the round of 32. That is Mohamed Abdullayev, no stranger to podium success, having picked up bronze medals in the last 2 editions of the World Championships in the super heavyweight division. He too competed at the same World Championships, the World Boxing World Championships in Liverpool earlier this year. And he came up against Julio Cesar La Cruz, who boxed as a heavyweight in that event in the first preliminary round. And it was La Cruz who got the decision. So working his way to the inside to pin Abdullayev on the ropes. As Islamov, but Abdullayev so calm. Couldn't evade that overhand right, but he's perhaps got the better of the exchange with the work that he was able to do off the ropes. Good work to the body from Abdullayev. There's that left hand downstairs once again, really whipping it under with pace and precision. Shaped up to throw it, but didn't commit. Good right hand over the top, twice in quick succession as the head threatened to come together. Abdullayev switching to southpaw, takes a right hand on the jaw. Spinning off the line is Abdullayev. Retreating to his blue corner of his own volition, Mohamed Abdullayev, first round in the book. This man had his success on the front foot. But Abdullayev began to bring the bolo shot into play, whipping it down to the body. I think the work done by the man in blue should be enough to give him the round.
Seconds out. Round 2.
So we move into the second round. First round scored unanimously for the man in blue. So the onus on Davlet Islamov to try and do something different, but what can he do differently against such an accomplished operator? Nice double jab, but then a good right hand over the top from Islamov. But Abdullayev so composed up in the boxing ring and has the dexterity to make his man miss by millimeters, as evidenced during that bobbing and weaving cameo there. Oh, that's a wonderful bolo shot to the body from Abdullayev. And again, the success just emphasized because he maintained the gap. Lost his footing there momentarily. That's not something we see from him very often. Being such an elite boxer for so long as he just touches his man with a left cross before. Oh, what a left uppercut as he switched orthodox off, stepping out of the pocket. But he's been an elite boxer for so long that we sometimes forget that he's only 26 years of age. Abdullayev was an Olympian way back in Tokyo. Lost to Bahadur Jalolov in the second preliminary round. And another left uppercut turned into the pit of Islamov's stomach. Timing his man wonderfully. You could see that setup coming. Just drew the punch, dipped at the knees to make his man miss, and look at the way he's continuing to dig down to the body of Islamov. Body punching has been a real feature of this tournament, and I'm really pleased to see that, because in previous iterations of IBA boxing when the computer kept score. Body punching, to say it disappeared would be overstating it, but because body punching can be so difficult to discern, particularly if you're pushing a button to keep the score clock moving, and it was touching punches without reply that became prominent features of boxing of that era. And again, body punching didn't disappear, but it has largely returned. And at this level, my goodness, these are heavy shots going in as he's continuing to seek to break the man down to the body. And you can hear the exertions of Islamov as he tries to will his way back into the pocket, because he was scored upon repeatedly downstairs, invariably with the left hand. Bolo hook out of both stances. A very good display indeed by Muhammad Abdullayev. Remember, he took the first round unanimously. And this one, he picked it up a little bit. Now, credit to Islamov. He never stopped going in search of his own successes. But the body work was outstanding from the man in blue. So Davlet Islamov taking it for judge number 4. They're the 4 observers preferring the work of Abdullayev. Fans of all ages in attendance here at the Dubai Duty Free Tennis Center.
Seconds out. Your third and final round.
So into the third and final round then. Davlet Islamov took a share of round number 2 for one of the scoring judges, but he's trailing 20 points to 18 for 4 judges. So he needs a massive final round here, and he's really going for it, trying to pin Abdullayev on the ropes. But Abdullayev just keeping his cool, leaning way back over the top rope, just to avoid the incoming fire. Takes some real nerve to operate off the ropes in that type of fashion. And again, something that is largely associated with boxing from days of yore. But to see a fighter who is comfortable on the strand, Olympic bronze medalist and multi-weight world champion Floyd Mayweather comes to mind. Roberto Duran, multi-weight world champion from lightweight up to light middleweight, also comfortable against the ropes. James Toney, lights out Toney, perhaps as good as anyone who's ever done it. George Benton, so many others who are just content to retreat to the ropes, use movement, use dexterity, and allow the man to wear themselves out. Or get frustrated because they can't find a range. Not too far away with that shot was Davlet Islamov. And again, Abdullayev in a commanding position. Beautiful use of the left hand to the body again out of the orthodox stance. Continuing to turn shots underneath, and Islamov isn't doing anything to evade these punches. He's so keen to get back into the pocket, clambering his way inside and looking to try to take his man out. But Abdullayev not being pushed back here now. Instead, he's pushing Islamov backwards, perhaps sensing that his opponent may be weakening after all the body punches that he's being hit with. Less than a minute to go, and Islamov needs an inside the distance victory here. Check right hand sees Abdullayev spinning off the line as he elects to maintain the gap, walks back to the ropes, slipping, dipping before tying his man up. But that, the epitome of composure, because you've got a 92 kilogram plus super heavyweight boxer coming at you looking to take you out. Just saw Islamov glance up to the Jumbotron suspended above ring A, because ring A's action has concluded in this 13th session. So ring A's Jumbotron is showing Islamov up on the big screen. He will have a sense as to how long is left. There he wasn't too far away with the overhand right. But he's not going to be able to produce the inside the distance victory that he needed. He's given absolutely everything in pursuit of it. But Abdullayev, a picture of composure during the course of that contest. And it's a return to the medal stages for the third consecutive World Championships in the super heavyweight division for Mohamed Abdullayev of Azerbaijan. The tournament #2 seed will look to go at least one better than the bronzes he's picked up in Belgrade 2021 and Tashkent 2023. And in order to do that, he will have to get past the talented 20-year-old from Russia, David Surov, because that is the man who awaits him at the semi-final stage in the bottom half of the super heavyweight draw. Let's get the official verdict at the conclusion of that bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, on ring B, your winner by unanimous decision. In the blue corner, representing Azerbaijan, Mohamed Abdullayev.
So Mohamed Abdullayev, the tournament #2 seed, returns to the medal stages yet again in the super heavyweight division. Wonderful to see that respect between the boxers and the opposing coaches as we take a look at some of the action from that final contest of this 13th session of boxing. Abdullayev in control throughout. And that wraps up session number 13, 352 bouts down. We'll be back with session number 14 in just a few minutes' time, because we're scheduled to return at the top of the hour, 9 p.m. local time. So make sure you join us for that. In the meantime, we will leave you with a rundown of the results and some images from what has been another magnificent session of boxing here from the IBA World Boxing Championships in Dubai 2025. We'll see you again in just a few minutes' time for session number 14. Bye for now.